Hello, and welcome to Horror Movies and Shit. I'm your host, Jim, and with me as always is...
Pork.
How are you, Mark?
Sick.
Still?
Still.
In the head or physically?
Both.
No. Fantastic.
Blaze.
So, Mark, you set up a small round table, so why don't you go around the table and introduce everybody?
Okay, so we have returning from, I assume, Jim, you've already edited and posted the first part because
No, sir.
You're super productive like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have returning the star Stephen King stand-in, Matthew Brockmeyer.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Hi,
thank you very much. That was quite an introduction.
Yeah. We also have my brother-in-law, which is a bit of a less of an introduction, Shane.
Hey, guys.
Shane, welcome.
Jim, do you want to introduce our other two guests?
Sure. We have a returning guest, Carlos, author of White Harbor. So far, book 2, I believe, just went to your editor, didn't it? Didn't you just finish it?
You're on mute, buddy.
I think you're on mute.
Crap. Sorry. So, yeah. It was already sent to the editor, and book 2 is coming out in March. I'm trying to get all of them out in a year, so the next one is planned to come out in October. So
That's
the whole trilogy in 1 year.
Yeah. Wow. And then we have one of our most active members of our community, Jeff Alderman.
One of our sexiest horror guests.
Jeff, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Drinking my rum and coke.
Fantastic.
And
I
we
hope
made
everybody...
a surprise guest.
Jeff is the administrator of the Sexy Horror Facebook group, a fun place. All you listeners should join up. We're all there, and we all have a fucking great time.
I am so bad at popping now Facebook.
Bringing that to life.
Right. I'm so bad at popping Facebook. I'm so bad at it. I never mention our Facebook group or anybody's Facebook group, so I apologize.
Can you put that on the chat so I can actually follow that? Because I didn't. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Just go to Facebook and write Sexy Horror. You can't miss it.
I think it's Sexy
that's
Horror.
The actual name of it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, go to Google and type in tentacle porn, sexy horror, lumberjack.
Way ahead
that
of you.
might get
That's like one of my main searches.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we are picking up about halfway done with this list of Stephen King adaptations. So Mark's not feeling well, so unfortunately you have to put up with my voice.
Right.
So
I can do it if you want. I'm all right now.
No, it's fine. I got it.
No, I'll do it.
Unless you want to.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, whatever.
No, go for it. Go for it. If you're feeling up to it, go for it.
I'm all right. I may have to pass a baton over to you at the start.
Okay.
How long have you two been married?
About 100 years.
Yeah, at least.
Yes.
And what we figured we'd do for our new guests, since they couldn't join us for part 1, is that once we get through this list, we'll give them an opportunity to talk about ones on from the last podcast. So,
oh, that's awesome.
That's cool. Thank you.
Okay, so we ended with number 45, which I think is a classic, Storm of the Century, into number 46, The Green Mile.
Who wants to go first?
I'm just going to announce a disclaimer. To my embarrassment, I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God! Are you serious? No,
I knew everybody would rake me over the coals when I said that.
Wow.
Not yet.
And I thought my take was going to be controversial.
Okay, let's start with you then, Carlos. What's your take?
So, for me, it's okay. I mean, first of all, it's not really a horror movie, but anyway, as a movie, it's really good, but I think it's a little too sappy, I guess. You know, it almost feels like a Christmas movie. Except, you know, people are being put on the electric chair and dying horribly, but it almost feels that way because everything is just so heartfelt and beautiful and you know, it's I don't know. There's that thing that makes it feel a little too unreal for me. So I would have said great. I will say okay, just to yeah. I mean, I like it, but
I got a controversial opinion.
Okay.
Every time I see Tom Hanks, I want to punch him in the fucking face. Stupid.
Yes. You guys are turning me off because Tom Hanks and this review are really turning me off.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're not sexy enough for you, huh, Jeff?
I
I'm
will
with you,
say,
Matthew.
yeah, I don't have the issues you have with Tom Hanks. I generally like his stuff from the 80s. This movie, however, to me was boring, and I didn't like the book either. And I really hated because this came out at a time where they tried to serialize novels, and
Yeah.
it was dog shit. Between Dean Koontz and Stephen King, it was garbage marketing.
They're like, what, like 60 pages each?
Yeah.
I got
essentially.
them all.
Yeah, I
And,
did too. And I promptly
they look
burned
cool
them
at the
after I
shelf.
read it. Yeah.
So it wasn't on the caliber of Dead Man Walking.
God, no.
That's actually a good film, yeah.
It is.
So Shane,
Mark?
True crime there.
Well,
Well-
see, so I mean, obviously, it has Morgan Freeman in it. I'd love to sleep
No.
on a bed made of his voice. No,
No.
but the whole
Shane,
what?
Shane, that's the
Morgan
Shaw.
Freeman is not in the Green Mile.
you're thinking the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
is
shit! I
also-
was. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Retract that. I'm sorry. right. Well, in that case, no. The Green Mile was a great movie to me. I mean, I loved how it was done.
Because
that
it didn't have Morgan Freeman in it?
Hey, I thought he was the black guy. No, just kidding. No, but John Cobb. He
is a
that
black
guy
guy.
did it.
Every
Whatever.
time an
Michael-
angel gets its wings, Morgan Freeman gets a freckle.
you can't not
Oh my god!
no, but you you can't not
I'm
love
glad I'm
Michael
drinking.
Clark Duncan, bro. He's
Oh my
he's
God.
a 240-pound beast that's just absolutely a teddy bear. And then of course at least Tom
Morgan
Hanks
Freeman?
have some
No, the
kind
guy,
of, like, messed
the guy
up
who played
accent.
John Coffey.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But at least he didn't pull off. He didn't try to pull off some kind of
Oh.
southern accent like Nicolas Cage. You know what I mean? And Con Air. He just stayed true to himself in the movie. Plus, you had some big greats in there too. You know what I mean? It wasn't just about Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but it didn't save the movie.
huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I will agree on something. Like, I do think Michael Clark Duncan, kills it. He does one hell of a performance.
He
Yeah.
did one hell of a
that
John
movie.
Coffey. I mean, you can't tell me.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was persecuted for something he didn't do, and he tried to save him, and that after all, the story to me, I did like it. Again, it's different, and like the last podcast, I like those movies where it makes you think about shit.
I probably would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't a Stephen King story, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because
Why?
you come to expect things from Stephen King, right? You come to expect drama, horror,
Bad writing.
terrible.
Yeah, but Sam
Oh.
Rockwell did a phenomenal job though too. I mean, he reminded me of the person from Hannibal that threw his cum at fucking Jodie Foster. Like he had that mentality.
What?
You know what I mean?
What?
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
I
Have
love
you
that
not
part.
seen? Have you not seen the Hannibal?
Spoiler
Lecter
alert.
movies? I mean, Silence of the Lambs. He threw his cum
Yeah.
on her face. Do you not recognize that?
That's
or-
what made Hannibal Lecter
wasn't
feel sympathy
his.
for her. If he hadn't done that, that was the catalyst for him speaking with her.
It was
But,
multiple.
but that's the
God,
point. Is that Sam Rockwell showed
clearly
that
have
kind
not-
of mentality in that movie. Like he had that craziness of the
I have
Silence of the
clearly
Lambs.
not seen that movie in quite a long time. Then, if I do
No,
not
Matthew,
remember that
was
part of the movie.
opportunistic jizz.
No, yeah, that part was actually really shocking.
Any movie that's got cum
Exactly,
flying
thank
into
you.
Jodie Foster's face is like 2 thumbs up for me.
Oh my God!
That was the problem with the Green Mile. Where was Jodie
They got the
Foster in
money
a
shot, and
big
she
ball
didn't
of
get the
cum?
money for it.
Wow.
Wow.
My outsider question for all of you. So despite what you thought of the Green Mile, did you cry?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I cried over
Okay.
not being able to punch Tom Hanks in the face.
Can't
Or-
interrupt.
Disclaimer around, I'm a big crybaby. I cry at everything.
Place, Matthew.
Excuse me?
Maybe throw cum in his face.
I do that. Sure.
I'm missing Mr. Bojangles right about now.
So for me, the Green Mile I think is great. I really think a lot of it is to do with Michael Clark Duncan's performance in it.
Yep.
Really, like I probably some of you have seen the Dark Knight of the Scarecrow with Larry Drake, where it's a similar kind of story where it's like a simple, mentally simple guy who gets kind of like fucked, right? Not literally, not the Jodie Foster way, but like I really think his performance drives that movie. It's well made, it's well directed. Um, I think it's got a great cast. I just don't find it as compelling as like a Shawshank Redemption, which is the obvious kind of metaphor for Stephen King prison movies. But
Shawshank I've seen, and that's incredible.
yeah, but I think there is that it definitely has that sort of part where that guard who doesn't apply the water to the guy right for the electrocution. You're
Mhm.
like, oh fuck him, he's a fucking asshole. So at
Hang
least
on
he
a
gets
sec. Hey,
Yeah.
Mark, hang on a second.
So I
Carlos,
was
go
going
ahead.
to say something about that in particular.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever I think about the movie, that it's too sappy or whatever, that for me, the electrocution scene without the wet sponge, that
Right.
for me is pure horror and very well done horror, and that's where you actually do see a little bit of Stephen King really shine through. But for that scene, for the rest, I feel sappy Hallmark movie, but that scene in particular, I loved it.
And I don't disagree. I think there is a certain amount of sap about it, especially him going and healing the wife and all that sort of stuff. And it's like they're just trying to tug on the heartstrings. But
Mhm.
I think without Michael Clark Duncan in that role, it wouldn't be as successful for me
I
because he
agree.
just absolutely killed it. Okay, we'll move along. This is a movie I have not seen. It's 2001 Anthony Hopkins vehicle, Hearts in Atlantis.
I'm
Jeff,
out.
I have not watched it.
Shane.
I liked it.
No, I haven't seen it. If my memory doesn't mistake me incorrectly, I believe that was around the same time he made Meet Joe Black.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably around that.
Right
Yeah, I
around that
think.
time, yeah. See, I missed that. I watched Meet Joe Black, but I saw bits and pieces of it. I'm not too familiar with that one.
I did not see this film because I had no interest in it after trying to read the book. So
Okay,
I don't know. I liked it. I liked the book too. Excuse me, but I'm
So- so-
stoned, so don't listen to me.
so Matthew, it sounds like you're the only one that actually saw it. How would you rank it?
I would rank it forgettable. No, I would rank it. I don't know.
It's
It
unforgettable.
was great. Great. It was good for me.
Great.
Okay, great. I hate this.
If you're saying forgettable, it can be great. Got it? Jim's line, like
I don't
rating.
know.
Yeah.
Would you
okay,
watch
Mark.
it again?
Moving on.
Sorry, Jeff. What did you say?
I just asked Matthew, would he watch it again?
Probably, yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now the next one is a made-for-TV mishmash. Again, Stephen King likes to borrow from other sources. This is Rose Red.
Yay!
I go ahead, Jeff. You first.
I loved Rose Red. It's one of these, like, the epitome of the miniseries. I would definitely rank Storm of the Century as the best, maybe the best miniseries ever. But Rose Red miniseries allowed these shows to take their time, play out the characters, play out the story, and I believe it was 3 parts. I started
Yep.
watching it today, and then I dropped it. It was like too long. And great cast, everything. I just loved it.
Carlos.
So this one, I know I watched it. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember it. So I guess I would
Mhm.
just, grade it as nah, because, I mean, if I don't even remember it, I mean, I do remember I watched it, don't really remember what it was about.
Nobody was it?
Shane. You have any thoughts on Rose Red?
I'm sorry about that. Apparently I accidentally swiped out of it. What movie were we talking about?
Rose Red.
One more time. You guys both said it.
Rose Red.
I have not seen that.
So I will agree with Jeff. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It was interesting. The only thing I did not like was Kimberly J. Brown's character. And it has nothing to do with the actress, but I really did not think she did a good job of playing a neurodivergent character.
Wait a minute, which one was she? I'm trying to.
She was the little girl that woke the house
I
up.
was actually thinking. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm like,
There was a little psychic
she's
child that woke up the haunted house.
Yeah.
No, not in a
She's-
Stephen King book. That never happens.
She was basically the rewrite of Danny Torrance
Yeah.
for Rose Red, and she did the Carrie thing and brought stones down on the house.
Yep.
Yes,
Across the road.
that was a callback, Jeff. Whenever we were first talking about Carrie and raining rocks, I'm like, this is going to appear in another Stephen King adaptation.
Which
that was fun for me.
But let's be honest, he borrowed that from was it The Haunting or 10 of the Little Indians? I can never keep that straight.
Well, it's an ancient thing that you hear about. Same with raining frogs. He does that one too. But he changes it up and he has raining vampire frogs, which I always liked. It's like
What
you know
story
that short
is
story?
that in? No.
Oh
Raining
god, it's one of
vampire
those short
frogs.
stories in Night Shift. It's a really good one. It's
Is
like
it?
these
I'll look
old
it up.
timers sitting on the porch in front of the general store talking, and they're like, "Look at them city folks driving up here from Massachusetts to Maine for their summer home. Think we should tell them about what's going to happen on Tuesday? Nah, if we tell them, they're just going to think we're crazy and make fun of us. Ah, fuck it, don't tell them." And that's what happens. It rains frogs on them, but they're vampire frogs, and they eat them. And then they're like,
Huh.
But you have to do it with the main accent. What's
So
up?
wait. So
I love that.
I have to ask though, since Matthew, you're the only one that's read this story. If they're vampires, do you get turned into a vampire frog when they eat you?
Only if you yourself are a frog.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
I
mean-
don't think so. I think they're demonic creatures that come from like an inner dimension. Like an interdimensional portal opens up over Maine.
Every Tuesday,
and, every Tuesday or something like that. Or maybe
That sounds
that
like
kind of-
Lawnmower Man crazy.
Yeah, it does, and it's great. I'm
All
totally
right.
here for it.
Rose Red. I'm going to
Yep.
give it a firm meh.
I'm gonna give it a great.
Oh
It
no!
was overdone. It was Steven Spielberg came to Stephen King and he said, "Write me the scariest story you can, and I'll make it." And I want to make a scary movie. And fucking Stephen King wrote him that script, and he's like, "It's just not scary." You know what I mean? And I'll tell you why. Because it needs to be like The Shining is scary, Cujo is scary, Pet Cemetery is scary, because it's about the family. It's about the family structure, and the family is, you know what I mean? But that's not the case with this story. It's fun, but it's not going to be on that level because it's like all these psychic people. It's such a
So-
trope that's been done
So
so
how did
many
you feel
times.
about The Haunting then, Matthew?
I mean, you know, it's a classic. I like it.
It's the
but
exact
it's
same
a-
story.
You're right.
I'm
It is.
talking about the Haunting, like the original,
original.
the remake,
The original or the remake. I mean, it's
or
essentially
Mike
the same
Flanagan
story.
version.
We don't want to talk about the
Well, the
remake.
Mike Flanagan version, I loved. I thought it was very interesting what he did. I thought it was more heartfelt than this,
Yeah,
but it was different. It's not. Yeah, it's Mike Flanagan. I don't know what he just takes the ball and goes crazy. You know what I mean? What he
Yeah.
does is
he
Uh,
takes like
the
like
ending
the,
of
the
that
core of the
series.
story and turns it into something else completely. And
he just
I
goes
love when he does
bananas. But yeah. Well, that's my opinion on it. Not
I'll
a fan.
say, for me, I think
Oh,
it's
and
okay.
I think Spielberg ended up. If I might be wrong, but Spielberg ended up making Poltergeist instead,
Do you
producing
think-
it.
he did that
These are
because of
separated by a
this?
decade.
Yeah, in the making, not in the writing of the script.
Okay.
Really?
Spielberg turned it down. But you know what? I might be
Well,
wrong on
so-
all these dates and stuff. But from what I understand, what I remember happening, that's the stories I was hearing.
I don't doubt you. I just do not know that story. I was not aware that the script for Rose Red was around that long.
Yeah, it was getting turned down. No
Wow.
one wanted to make it into a fucking movie.
Wow.
So I'll
That's
say,
you. Oh, go ahead.
so I'll say, for my rating, I thought it was okay. I think it's just a little too derivative. I'm like, I've kind of seen this
Too
stuff
on the
before.
nose, right?
Yeah, and it's like, I kind of like it, but and again, it's one of those ones. If it's on the TV, there's nothing else on, I'll just watch it, and it's going to be fine. But nothing more, nothing less.
Okay.
Matthew, um, I totally like what you say. I like the idea of where it could have been gone. The reason I love it is because it's a total popcorn miniseries,
Yep.
and it's designed to go for, what was it, 3 nights, I think.
Yeah, it was 3
And
nights.
it really did, like, it was the Winchester House. It was going inside the Winchester House, basically.
I-
And
I
the
Have you
really-
whole
been to the
idea of,
Winchester House, Jeff? You go there?
I haven't yet, damn it.
I've been there. Yeah, it's pretty
I
fun.
need to go.
Well, look,
I need to come up
my
to your
idea,
place
one of my favorite Stephen King miniseries is coming up, and you guys are all gonna hate it, and I'm gonna love it. So when that happens, we'll see.
Welcome
What's
to
that?
Daring.
Well,
Or
we'll
Wait,
see.
Oh,
wait,
We'll
wait,
get
coming
to
up
it.
on
let's
here.
get to
Never
it.
mind.
Yeah, it hasn't come through yet.
I really do like that setting in the house whenever they have everything upside down and they're
Yeah.
walking through it. I thought that was awesome looking. Okay, moving on. We have the TV series, The Dead Zone with Anthony Michael Hall, which I have not watched.
I haven't watched that either. I meant to. I really wanted to. Did not
I
watch it.
was in and out of it a couple times. It was very good, the parts I watched, but I just never took the time.
Carlos, were you a fan?
So I liked it mostly because it helped me, enjoy a book that I didn't particularly enjoy when reading it. So
Mhm.
I'll say it's okay. I mean, we're talking standards of like early 2000s, I think, right? Early 2000s.
Yep.
It was
2002.
yeah. I liked it, and because when I read the book, I didn't like it as much, and when I watched the was it a miniseries TV movie? Um, Again, this is me pulling at memories. I do remember saying, "Oh, okay, so that means I didn't understand a lot of the book, or I didn't
Right.
quite love the book as much as this is making me like it." So
I
yeah.
think Carlos has a point here. It's a very cool story. It's a neat
It
story.
is.
But that might be one of the worst written books when it comes to words. I mean, I don't know how much cocaine he was on when he was writing that, but it felt like he just wrote it one day. And it's like this cool idea. He's like, "Oh, I got this idea," and just like blah, 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 wrote it down and then was like sent it off.
Yeah,
It's
and
badly
the way
written, I think.
the
See,
way he
I'm
conveyed the idea of the dead zone itself, like when he was going on these rambling things, like, oh, no, 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 and then this happens and this happens. Okay, I don't see that. That's in the dead zone. Blah 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 blah. I was like, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like the way he just goes into these rambling moments with gaps in it that are supposed to be like the dead zone, to put it that way. I didn't like as much reading that as I enjoyed watching that unfold, like actually acted.
I'll agree with
I'm
Carlos on
feeling
that.
like Irene Cara singing Out There on My Own. I love the book.
Okay.
And
Did you like the Cronenberg movie? We talked about that last week.
I did.
Yeah, hang on.
I
Just,
love the
You,
movie.
Jeff,
That
did you
was
like it?
excellent.
hang
The
on.
movie
Just,
was
Yeah, me too. Cronenberg's the man.
just 1 second. Just as you brought that up, Matthew, I thought it's a good idea. As we're going through these more modern ones, a lot of them are remakes or like TV series of the ones we've already talked about.
Yep.
So as we're talking about the Dead Zone, etc., if you want to talk about the original movie too, you can certainly do that.
I don't know. I think we should ban it.
The thing is, I do want to take this opportunity to say that for some fucking reason, every time I think of the Dead Zone, I think of the fixation in the novel in the beginning. Was there a pervert or something who was
He's like
a
an
killer?
English pervert.
And
He wasn't. I
He's
don't
an
remember
English
if he was a
teacher,
killer.
and he gets hit by a car.
what I remember is there's someone who he's honing in on in the beginning of the story.
The
Yeah,
serial.
there
He
was like
doesn't
a
have the
there was
power
like a
yet.
kitty diddler or something, right?
Huh?
It was like a kitty diddler or something that he was.
That's right.
He was
And his
obsessed with it first.
memories were of a his mother putting clothespins on his penis.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, it's one of those stupid Stephen King details that sticks in your mind. You're like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
That's good.
So
Kinky.
I enjoyed the Christopher Walken version. I never watched the series.
Shane,
Well,
you see the series?
yeah, the clothespin on the penis thing, that's my normal Wednesday night. But
Thanks for sharing.
I'm just,
Yeah,
no,
I'm glad I
honestly,
brought it up.
Is that when your mom comes to visit you?
no, with this, I have,
Damn.
it's actually my list of things to watch. So unfortunately, I can't put my penis on this one.
You can't put your
I
penis on
did
this one.
respect. Sorry, go ahead.
You can't put your penis on this one. That's not what you said.
No, he can't put his
Well,
clothespin on this
Too
one.
many
No.
clothespins on it.
Well,
Yeah.
as Jim knows, we have this little thing about our Pazuzu that we got to hold down. So,
I am not showing my
Stop.
Pazuzu on camera again. Just saying.
hey, likewise with my pumpkin head. So,
My camera's not working. The thing I respected about the series from the little I saw of it was Anthony Michael Hall. I thought he did an amazing job.
Well,
It
this
was
brought
like
him.
the first time I saw him as an adult actor, I think.
Yep. And that's
And
what I was going to say.
everything ends up with Evil Dies Tonight, right?
With what?
This was a resurgence for him,
Evil
like
Dies Tonight.
because he took almost a 20-year hiatus, right? He after his 80s Brat Pack movies, he didn't really do a whole lot, and then he came
Right.
back with this, which then brought his entire career back.
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah,
No,
I
I
remember
would
it being
actually-
in the newspapers and people interviewing him, and it being a really big deal that he was back,
Yeah.
and everyone said he did a great job. I
Yeah.
kept meaning to watch it. 2002, yeah, I was living in the middle of the woods then. I didn't even have I was out of it.
Like, I wouldn't dismiss watching that series someday. Yeah, I just,
Mhm.
it's not in my queue right now. So
Michael Hall was not the guy that played Predator, right? That's not the same.
Well, no, this is Anthony
No,
Michael Hall.
Anthony
This is
Michael
Anthony
Hall.
Michael
okay,
Hall.
okay.
16
Sweet
Candles,
16,
Breakfast Club.
16 Candles, yeah, thank you.
Right.
Campbell, that's his name. Campbell, thank you. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought it was Hall. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
No, it is Hall.
It
Is it Hall?
No, he's talking about something else now.
People named Hall.
I'm so
Oh my
confused.
yeah, me too. Next,
Cast
Mark,
Boomerang.
what's the next one?
Okay, talking about kind of remakes, redos, we have the Angela Bettis 2002 TV movie Carrie,
Okay,
which I have not seen.
Matthew.
I remember seeing it. It had at the prom. There's like big, huge screens all up, right? Like it's supposed to be like kind of like that modern screeny thing, but it's still so old that they didn't really have cell phones. Like it's not our concept of what techie is, you know.
Right.
But I remember thinking it was completely okay to meh. It just, I don't know, man. I'm just such a sissy SpaceX fan, and the original is
Yeah.
so good. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to go crazy. And I was like, if they want to remake it, they should have made it more like the book and made like government dudes and files and like weird shit like that. And like, it's just, I don't know.
Carlos.
So, well, I had expressed my love for this particular one. I know that the Sissy Spacek one is far superior, but I really loved Angela Bettis on this one. I loved her performance because she has this kind of balance between being kind of vulnerable but sort of weird, and also like going
Yes.
full freaky
Yeah.
insane. And she was just so well cast in this movie that for me, she was the main appeal of the movie. Whatever was happening on screen around her was just peripheral
Yep.
when it came to her as Carrie. I loved her in that role. So
I'll agree with you.
say-
She was a great Carrie. She was really good.
Yeah, I'll
Jeff?
say great just based on her performance. I know everything else, like for example, like the scene with the raining meteorites. That was just so badly CG'd that it completely took me out of it. But once she actually got to acting, she stole it for me.
Nice.
Jeff, what about you?
I think I saw part of it and bailed. And I would agree, I believe that she impressed me, but I wasn't seeing the story. And it's like once you go SpaceX, You don't need to go back.
Shane?
I'm on the same realm as everybody else. I mean, she did do a great part. They could have cast someone who was worse for the part. Sissy Spacek obviously is a hard, big shoes to fill with
Yeah.
roles, but she did do a good part, making it her own, type of craziness, if you will,
Well,
with the look and everything, and she lived up to the expectation. I think for most of the fans of the Carrie movie, I think she did a good job. It could have been a lot worse.
so I will say, and I've said this many times before on this podcast when her name has come up, my favorite Angela Bettis vehicle is May, and it always
Yes.
will be.
Great
I
flick. I
did
love it.
I did think that she did an admirable job. I did like that there were parts of the book that were included in this that were not included in the Sissy Spacek version. But if I'm being 100% honest, I do want to see a remake of Carrie. I mean, I love the Sissy Spacek version, but I want to see the actress who played in the movie Piggy in this role because I think she would be
That's a great
fantastic.
idea.
Oh,
That'd be a good
I
idea.
haven't seen Piggy yet, but I get where you're
just
coming
saw
from.
that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
That's a
We'll
that's
get
Mark?
to it and make it. What the fuck are you doing?
Right?
okay. Moving forward, I think this might be quite the divisive one. I think the book is very divisive. I haven't read the book. No, I have read the book. Actually, I take that back. And I quite like the movie, but it's a weird one. It's Dreamcatcher.
This is the one I was
we
talking
didn't.
about that I
Hold on,
like.
hold on a
That's a
second.
good one.
We did not hear Mark's opinion on Carrie.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the
Okay, fair enough. So let's go to Dreamcatcher next.
Yep.
Love it. Classic.
I will agree. I thought the book
Nice.
and the movie were fantastic. The shit weasels are my favorite Stephen King
Yes.
villain.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yeah, weasels.
Classic as well. I do want to read the book though because I know that there's a lot of things that are left out. I think thought wise and whatnot for a lot of the characters for the movie. So
Matthew being a fellow Dreamcatcher, what's your favorite saying in the book?
Dude, come on, man. Don't call me out like this. I don't know. You tell me.
Jumping Jesus
We're all
Christ
watching
bananas.
you, Matthew. We're waiting for your response.
Carlos, what did you think of Dreamcatcher?
Approximation.
So I loved the book. The movie, not so much. Probably because I guess that book benefited a lot more from you picturing stuff than actually seeing it.
Yeah.
And the way it looked in the actual movie wasn't my cup of tea. I'll say okay. I love the performance of the I forgot his name. Like
The main guy.
yeah, I loved his performance, but aside from that, I don't know. For me, it kind of like actually watching it on screen took a little of the scare appeal away.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
People hate it.
And I don't.
If
hate
you
the
go into like
movie.
your average, like go to a Stephen King Facebook group, you're gonna see 75% people hating it.
Oh no, that's too
Jeez.
much. I mean, for me, that's a little bit too extreme. I mean, it's not a bad movie at all.
Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Shane.
Shane.
Shit.
Okay.
Everybody say it.
Jeff.
It's like that movie right at the end. Shay, Shay.
Mine's per-
no, I guess
Come back, Shane.
Shane. No, like I said, I haven't read the book, but the movie to me is a classic. So.
And Jeff, you had something you wanted to say?
So, I haven't read the book or seen the movie. I'm ironically a Dreamcatcher collector. I only have 3, but I'm very picky.
Well, I imagine that this will.
Okay.
One has a horsehair hanging from it. I love them.
Fair enough.
I have a Andalusian crystal somewhere. You know about those? They're made by these pre-earthling elves and shit. Living,
I was going to say that sounds like Star Wars shit.
No, it's earthing. It's people believe in this shit, dude. Like it's like kind of like the Tribe of Atlantis kind of people. It's like that. Like people
Really?
that, yeah, but they all have like super magical powers and they like live
Alright,
below
you
the
need
crust of
to,
the earth.
like, PM
I
me
got one of
some
their
more stuff on
crystals,
that.
dog. And I paid like $15 for it, and it's only like this big, so it better be fucking real.
I have a white
It's
love
tiny.
crystal from Christmas one year. It was worthless.
Yeah, that also happens when you hire an escort. You know,
Oh, jeez.
you pay only $15. It's going to be about this big.
And it's except it was hard.
What'd the leper tell the escort?
Yeah.
Keep the tip.
No, you don't want to do that, Matthew. No, you don't want to do that. Mark,
Yeah,
next.
yeah. No, well, hang on. So for me, for Dreamcatcher, it's in between okay and great because it's kind of fucking cheesy in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, right? But I don't know if it gets that balance right between like, is it going to be like a cheesy B movie or is it trying to be something more serious? I don't ever think that it knows what it wants to be.
It's a stupid fucking movie. But I still think it's a classic.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's ridiculous.
It sounds like Needful Things.
It's better than Needful Things, in my opinion.
But also
Okay.
stupider, maybe.
Maybe.
It never made some needful things. But
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's all done. I mean, it's something that catches a dream. Yeah, it sounds stupid out when it rolls off the
Huh?
tongue. You know what I mean?
What?
Like,
anyway, so I mean, I think there's great actors in there, but I
Yeah.
think they're made to do dumb shit. And
Yeah.
so, but it's well made, and there's great effects, and then there's some kind of effects. So to me, it hovers between okay and great. Just probably depends how drunk I am. Oh,
That's fair.
Freema's eyebrows are cool.
For me, it
depends
just has
on
the
if he's saying-
perfect amount of campiness. It's like it needs to be like the Carrie we just talked about. It wasn't really campy, and it wasn't trying to be campy at all. And that might have like fucked it up a little bit. They were playing it really straight. Like this is straight up horror movie. You know what I mean? Whereas I felt like Dreamcatcher was like it's just fucking a romp. You know what I mean? It's just like, it was almost like a Quentin Tarantino movie or something. I don't know how to describe it. Like it was like over the top, just going on. It was hardcore. It was fun.
The actor
watch it.
there, which nobody really remembers, is Tom Sizemore.
There
And
you go.
kind of that line.
Who doesn't
in
remember
between-
Tom Sizemore?
Well, everybody talks about Morgan Freeman's eyebrows.
Those
No one
just
ever
like,
talks about Jacob Littleless.
Who?
Anyway, so okay, great.
Is this above Sleepwalkers then?
Oh god.
Well, we can get back to that one.
No,
next
Is
up
this
is
above Sleepwalkers? That's what I'm asking.
the 2004 Johnny Depp vehicle, Secret Window.
Yes.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Forgot about that.
That's
Matthew?
another one that a lot of people hate.
I'm gonna say classic. What the fuck? I don't know why not. It's cool. I really liked it. Kind of. It was enjoyable. When an enjoyable Stephen King movie comes out and it's not a piece of garbage, you're like classic.
Sorry, Carlos, what were you saying?
I'm sorry, I just cut in before anybody told me to speak. So,
It's okay.
I'll say it's great. I mean, I think it's great. I think the ending in particular feels a little like it's riding on the coattails of all of those movies that were coming out after The Sixth Sense. I think it was around that time in which everything had to have like a twist at the ending that was like, oh, and they were all dead. Oh, and he was the killer. Oh, and he forgot about
The others.
Exactly. But The Others is just a masterpiece. But this one,
I agree.
I really
Agree.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I really loved this movie. I didn't like the execution of the ending, but I really loved this movie.
Jeff?
Nice.
I'm starting to wonder if I saw this one now.
Johnny
There's
Depp
a
in
Johnny Depp is
pajamas,
an author.
eating chips on the sofa.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
don't think I have, but maybe I need to now.
Shane?
Looking out the window.
Definitely had different expectations going into watching this movie, and I ended up liking it. It's it's different in the aspect, like he said, the ending. It's kind of that Sixth Sense kind of feel. Like you didn't think he was going to go to that whole cornfield thing, and so yeah, no, I enjoyed this movie.
I'm gonna have a quite hot take on this apparently because I think this movie is dog shit. I
Nice.
hated every minute of it.
Why
It's
is that?
slow, but it's a good movie.
It's boring, and to me, it just there was no intensity, which is sad because it's one of my favorite authors and one of my favorite actors. But together, they just didn't do it for me.
Is it pretentious?
I think a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I watched this movie once, and I also watched the dark half once, and they two like blend in my head together about like an author going crazy or something.
Aren't they the same exact movie?
Not
Probably.
quite.
I think I'm getting. I'm just kidding.
Not quite, because the dark half, at least he's got a daughter.
I know.
Yeah, but they're like I say, they were both one-time watches for me. I don't remember anything really about them, but I just remember it was kind of the same concept-ish, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
the basic storyline is the same, yes.
Yep.
And I hated both movies, so, it tracks.
I mean, Stephen
Kinda
King
like
does
them,
have a
you
lot
know.
of books like
Stephen
that.
King
Like,
wrote the original story. Did you know that? Oh wait, never mind.
Hang on, who's Stephen King?
What?
Stephen
I
who?
I have a question for Matthew. Have you read every Stephen King work?
Hell no! Are you serious? How the
I
fuck?
mean,
People who have done that are amazing to me. Dude, he puts out a lot of stuff, dude. I
Okay.
read every one of them up. I remember when the. Whoa, is that all right?
What was
I
that?
remember when.
We lose.
I remember the
Mark.
Dark Half come out. I had read it all the way up.
So let me just say this. I am shocked right now, Matthew and Carlos. You guys have not read everything that's ever been written. You're authors. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I tried to read every book that had ever been written, and I'm still working on it. But it feels like the more I try, the more these motherfuckers keep writing books. So it's
Yeah.
very difficult to read every book that's ever been written. But
I
Carlos?
stopped after Christie.
Carlos,
So
how are you going
I-
to defend yourself, sir?
I
are you talking about
have
Stephen
read,
King? I thought you meant in general.
I have read
Yeah, just
everything.
read book.
I've read everything from Stephen King that has called my attention, but not everything. And I'll go with something controversial. I have not read Cujo.
Have not read what?
Oh my God!
You've not read Cujo? Is that what you just said?
And you know why? Because
Jesus.
I don't know why. It's like
Hey.
everybody's like, you have to read Cujo, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just a dog with rabies, and then most likely the dog is.
I'm
gonna die at the
believing
end.
in Jesus suddenly.
Yeah.
So hang on, Carlos. You have not read every short story Stephen King wrote in some sort of porno magazine?
I know he used to. I know
That
he
he
used to do that
himself
before
can't
he
find?
became famous, but no.
Okay. Moving on. I feel like I've seen this, but maybe I don't remember. It's 2004. David Arquette vehicle. Literally riding the bullet.
Never saw it.
This one, I feel like I saw it, but I don't remember it.
Carlos?
I know the title. I haven't watched the film.
Shane?
Same thing for me. I feel like I've seen it. I just couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Shane, that would have been like a total awesome thing if you'd seen the one that we hadn't.
Yeah. I've never even heard of this one.
I think Silver Bullet throws all of us. We were like, yeah, we've seen Silver Bullet, but riding the bullet?
Yeah. Never seen it.
Wait, what's that?
I'm actually looking it up because I know the title.
What's
but
the description?
I looked it up and
I
I
don't
was
know.
like, what?
It almost sounds like a crime book. He writes crime sometimes.
When a man finds out his mother is dying and tries to hitchhike his way to the hospital, he's picked up by a stranger with a deadly secret.
So Mick Garris is correct.
Sounds like the Hitcher.
It sounds like
very
it could
original.
be fun. Yeah, I said it has the Hitcher vibes to me.
Oh,
The
Barbara.
Hitcher. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move along since we're an hour in and we're up to number 54. We have
Oh my god.
so this is the 2004 TV series Kingdom Hospital with
Oh,
Ladd and Bruce Davidson.
Matthew,
Never saw it.
Carlos,
Me either. Again, I know
Jeff?
of it. I haven't watched it.
I am totally shocked Matthew has not seen it. I don't know
2004. I was
Carlos,
busy,
but
buddy. I
apparently
wasn't
Carlos
watching
is.
TV.
So here's the funny thing. I think I have the collection on DVD.
Hmm.
And I think I have the original because he did a redo of the original. I think is it a Dutch
Yeah, it's like
miniseries?
Danish or something.
Danish, okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
I've never completed watching any of them.
Sounds good.
They're intriguing. I just never stuck to them.
Oh wait, no,
So,
I
Shane?
actually.
I love my physical media, though. I have them.
Oh wait, no,
Nice.
Shane, you can be the hero again. What did
No,
you
I've-
think
I've-
of the
I've never heard-
608-minute Kingdom Hospital?
I do what?
We need a hero.
No,
I
I've,
love
I'm holding
having
up
two
for a
marks on this.
hero.
I've never heard or seen this. However, Jeff, is this worth watching? To give it a go?
Jeff says it was definitely forgettable.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, no,
Okay.
no. I didn't say it's forgettable.
Oh, he said it was
said I
definitely
didn't
loses
stick to
your
it.
interest.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, everybody. Don't put words in my
Oh,
mouth.
no, I'm just
No,
making
no, no,
sure.
no. So we are following your example. You said you started it and never finished it. Therefore,
Let
it
me
either doesn't
explain.
capture your attention or it's
No.
forgettable.
No, no, no. Let's pause a second. I'll do this quickly so we can move on. There was a time in my life where I was working at a very horrible job and time was precious. So I tried to grab things on physical media when I could. So this is one I dabbled in and I liked what I saw. But I
You
do
sound like
wonder,
a heroin user.
It's a gateway drug to all the rest of Stephen King's works.
I do wonder, did Stephen King do it service or was the original better? So I have both of them, I believe. I have a massive physical
That's
media
cool.
collection.
So, Carlos, you wanted to say something and we kept interrupting you. So,
No, now
Sorry.
I'm actually looking it up, and now that I see it, I do remember watching some of it. I don't remember how much, but the thing is, when I looked at the little girl, that's when I kind of dropped it because I felt it was a little bit too. What would I say? Like, what's the word? Like, tropey? Like, little girl with a
Oh.
fully white powdered face and like a teddy bear or something.
Stereotypical.
I
What
don't know.
I saw
It
of
just
it-
didn't catch me. But yeah, I don't remember anything about it. Just I know I started it. I know I dropped it. That's all.
Here is how I would describe it. I would say it's Twin Peaks in a hospital.
yeah, essentially,
Mm.
that's true. And
That
I
sounds
didn't,
really cool.
I didn't appreciate Twin Peaks until I saw it as an adult. I did not like it when it originally aired.
How
Um,
old were you when you watched Twin Peaks? I'm so old. I'm the oldest one here, probably.
I doubt it. And
I don't
to
know
be
how.
honest,
I'm pretty old, man.
I think we're all of a certain age here.
I'm 52.
Yeah, I'm 46.
No, I'm way older. I'm way older.
So when I
40.
watched Twin Peaks, I was pretty young. It was what, 1990?
Something like that. So I would
Yeah.
have been in high school.
But
I would have been
but
18.
the reason I say that is, it just was like these weird things were going on, and there was no real explanation.
Right.
I do want to see it again, or watch it in total.
So I started it. I did not finish the series because to me it was just boring.
Okay.
Okay,
Mark?
I'm going to call for a quick bathroom break if you want to get a refill, and
I
Yeah.
am good.
resume in.
I need to refill my rum and coke.
There we go. Okay, see y'all back in a minute.
All right.
All right, give me 1 second, guys. I got to refill Mark's drink real quick. So,
A little bit.
Excuse me, everybody. I got to piss in Mark's drink for a minute.
That's a
No,
weird.
we have our own version of the human centipede. It's just recycling and piss and not shit.
Dropping my headphones for a moment.
He's like, fuck that. He's,
Maybe
No.
not. Let's see how far my extension
I have a
goes.
Dune suit. I
Jeff,
just
I
pee
gotta
in it.
say,
It
I
makes
want,
me
I
more
want,
booze.
Dune suit.
Jeff, you have
I
a
love-
sultry voice. I want to hear you sing like the Grinch song, or the weather outside is frightful.
Loompa Loompa. I don't know what.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. I'm
You're a
sorry.
mean one, Mr. Grinch.
See, I was right. Damn, you should
Jeff does have a good
start your
voice,
own
man. He's got a
Christmas
good
album.
podcast voice.
That's what I'm
Sultry.
saying.
Is
Christmas
this like
album.
podcast taking a turn that I didn't expect?
right.
You never know when you're on here, Jeff. I'm just saying.
I am enjoying this, by the way, you guys.
We
so
get into
thanks
some
for
weird
inviting
shit,
me in.
and you know that.
Oh, Jeff, when they asked me to come on, I've had a blast every time. Like, it's hands down. Mark and Jim did a very good job with all this. It's turned my interest into a whole new realm. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, if I'm wanted back, I will return. So.
Right. And Mr. Matthew's been nothing but fantastic, especially the first time I got to talk to him last week. I was like, I
Man,
don't think you have enough books behind you, and
my
he was
favorite
like, well, I'm a
Matthew
writer.
my
Love
favorite
those
Matthew
books.
episode was the first episode he was on. We went for what, 4.5 hours, Matthew?
I got blacked out drunk. That episode's the reason I don't drink and do podcasts anymore. I'm like, I'm never doing that again, dude. Even
wish
what
I
you
could get
said,
my camera
you wake up
working.
in the morning like hungover, and you're like, "Was I talking shit last night, man? Oh my god, fuck, that's scary."
I wish I could get my camera going because I got a nice background.
Carlos is the most respectable one out of all of you deviants here. Just saying.
Well, the bar's set pretty low.
We
Okay.
have two.
Hey, Carlos,
established
you might want to
published
put your mic
writers
down.
here.
There you go.
Are we all back and ready?
Well, we're all back. I don't know about
Here.
ready.
I got my refill.
Okay, number 55. Remember, we still have like 30 to get through. We have the Rob Lowe series, Salem's Lot. Again,
I
feel
have
free to
not
talk about the
seen
original.
that. No interest in seeing it.
I loved it when it came out. I don't know. Like I said, I had
Really?
been living in the woods, and I got it in November, like on DVD from somewhere. I don't even know where I got it. And we had like a little DVD player we would bust out, and like a TV we would keep. And I watched it, and for some reason, it really clicked with me, and I fucking just like super loved it. And from
That's
that
really
viewing,
cool.
I'd call it a classic. And I love because I love Rutger Hauer, he's so good, and fucking what's his name? The his helper is played by his
Donald
son's the vamp.
Sutherland?
His son, yes, who? His son's the vampire in fucking goddamn Lost Boys, man.
Does Rutger Hauer play
Donald Sutherland?
Donald
Huh?
Sutherland.
Are you talking about Donald Sutherland?
as Harker is so fucking good. Yes, he plays the vampire. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And he
So
does
they
a great job. And it's
personalized
not
it
like
more?
a monster at all, like
Mhm.
Toby Hooper's version. You know what I mean? It's like exactly like the book. But
Right, because in the book he wasn't a monster.
yeah,
but-
in the book he could be like really good looking and charming, and he's like that. He's like
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer. You know what I mean? And there's some, yeah, it's a classic. I'm gonna say, but I did rewatch it and think like it's not as good as you remember it, buddy. But
Matthew, I feel like we've been doing like a dual journey between Stephen King novels and where your head was at whenever we were watching.
I have a poker
That's
tell.
true.
He's
I'm gonna turn off
marking
my
he's
thing
marking
like you
his
guys.
life experience in Stephen King novels. Carlos, what
I
did you
think
think?
that's a really
So-
good. Go ahead.
Nope.
So for me, I guess in my case, I have a carry situation going on in the sense that probably the original adaptation spoiled this one, because I mean, anything Rutger Hauer is in is elevated just by him being there.
Yep.
But I still side with the original. I don't think I've ever been more terrified of vampires as I've been with the original miniseries. So yeah, but I would say
When did
it's
you see
okay.
the original? How old were you when you saw it?
I watched it in the '80s. I was a kid. I'm
Yeah, I saw it when I was
43.
8.
Most likely around that age.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah, probably '88.
Jeff was 65 years old when it came on.
Just sometimes I envy you guys when you saw these when you were like little, like
Dude,
toddlers. I saw the
it was a big
birds when
deal, dude. I saw the commercials. Oh, it's crazy.
I saw the birds before I was in first grade, so that was my mark.
Wow.
That
I
might
saw the birds
explain your
young too. It's a good movie.
Jeff. That might explain your Tippy Hedren fetish.
Yeah, my blonde bouffant hairdo.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody please
Not even
explain
Alfred
how
Hitchcock could get in those pants, dude.
can somebody please explain
Oh,
how
we tried.
how a Tippy Hedren fetish works?
So,
Um,
was there a Bonnie Bedelia replacement in this movie, in this version?
I
I
don't
love Bonnie
remember.
Bedelia.
Who didn't? Everybody loved her from Die Hard.
But no, in Needful Things. But she was in Salem's Lot, the original.
Oh, who was she in the original? Was she
Oh my god, you guys!
the one who has the affair?
I'm exiting this podcast right
I
now.
don't even know. I can't remember all these old names, dude. I didn't watch
Old
Starsky and
names?
Hutch that much.
Celia was David Soul's love interest, dude.
Oh, that's right. The love interest. Yeah.
But considering I saw that
tragic
movie
story.
once, I saw the Salem's Lot miniseries once, and I just was not impressed. So
Oh my
What?
god,
I
that's
can be
amazing.
forgiven.
Okay, I am going to say you need to see it again because
No,
He'll never see it in the 1980s or 70s, though. It's
Danny
Yeah.
Glick.
it's
Yeah.
a great movie, man.
I
Maybe it
think-
is a made for
It is, and
TV
if-
70s movie, but
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that they actually modeled their vampires for the Nickelodeon show Are You Afraid of the Dark off of the Salem's Lot character, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Jim would know. Jim likes like kids shit.
well, it all goes back to Nosferatu.
Count
Nosferatu
Olard.
is, yeah.
Dude, Eggers is making that right now. He's done
I cannot
production.
wait.
Oh my
I
god,
cannot
it's gonna
wait.
be. I guarantee you, it's so good, dude. I'm fucking dying.
looks
like
dude.
the one they're making right
Nosferatu.
now, like the.
Yeah, it's all wrapped up. Production's wrapped up.
Oh my god, I can't wait to watch that.
Right?
I know, right?
yeah.
So I think Mark had a good point earlier. He said something about
Don't give him that credit.
Shut up, Jim. Shut up, Meg.
you were commenting on the period in which we watched it.
Right.
Not the menstrual period, but the period, the time
Jesus
period.
Christ.
What? This is a total sausage fest, and you're bringing up menstruation. What is wrong with you?
I know. So I think that's actually it's something I think of sometimes. Is like, when did I watch it, and what was
Yep.
my feeling at that time?
Oh, of course, because
Nostalgia.
Mark likes to give me shit because he thinks every movie I like is based off nostalgia.
But that's true, Jim. It's not shit. It's just
But
So-
I side with Jim on that because I love movies based off nostalgia a lot of times.
Mark?
Especially
there's something
Salem's
wrong
Lot.
with it, but you can't like downvote newer movies because you don't have nostalgia, even if they're great.
I
Mark,
fucking
I
can when it comes to Danny Glick floating around the window.
Mark, I love
Jim
the
likes new
Meg.
movies.
Yeah, I like the Meg.
What would you rate it out of 10?
You
God,
liked a
would be-
recent movie that I didn't like, didn't you? What was
The
that?
Meg was a
it
7.
was
for me.
horrible.
A 7. So how does that rate compare to your favorite movies?
Well, define favorite.
The ones in your nostalgia.
Please give me specific examples, sir.
That was the Guanji.
No, we're not even going to get into it. It's just going to be.
Oh my god.
Okay, move
Reading
along.
on track.
Swiftly
This
along.
is good radio here.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen this next one, I'll be interested to hear it. It's the 2005 14-minute long short, Gotham Cafe.
Oh yeah, it's
This
amazing.
one threw me. I don't know what that is.
I haven't watched.
Yeah,
that.
I don't have any idea.
What the fuck?
Carlos, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh no, I haven't watched that. Like
No.
that short.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
It
Batman?
was a small French
Right.
film in black and white, shot in the 1930s, I think. It was amazing. It was one of the greatest films I've ever seen.
So this, just to let you know, it's got a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb,
That's not
which means
bad.
nothing. With divorce on the horizon, a couple find out that a lunch meeting with the wife's attorney is about to get very gruesome.
Okay, I already.
Never heard of it.
I heard it got a 10 at cons.
Maybe. Okay, 2006 TV movie, Desperation.
Yay!
Charles Durning, Steven Weber, Tom Skerritt, directed by, again, Mick Garris. Does a lot of Stephen King stuff.
Love Mick
Wait, but
Garris.
isn't this the one with? No, yeah. Oh God, I completely forgot the name of this actor.
Annabeth Gish?
Yeah.
God, no. I meant like. Oh God, I was looking for Desperation, and I came up with Desperate
Ron
Housewives. What the
Perlman.
hell?
Ron Perlman is in it.
Ron Perlman. There you go. Playing
Yes.
Colleen
He makes
Tragan.
it.
He hates it.
No, he said he
makes it.
makes it.
Oh yeah, he's
So
amazing.
what are our tier ratings? I have not seen this one, so everyone
Neither
else.
have I.
Me
Matthew?
neither. I'm a huge fan of the book. Love the book. Kind of meant to see it. Like, love Ron Perlman, but just it never happened.
Let me just interject for a minute. It just goes to show we're all like horror nerds here, and we all like Stephen King. But there's so many Stephen King things nobody's watched, like in this group.
Right.
Not in
Um,
this group, yeah.
yeah, Carlos,
It,
have you seen this
So
one? Yeah.
this is literally based on one of two of my favorite Stephen King books, which are Desperation and The Regulators. Uh,
Yep.
because of that alternate reality thing that they do. Um, and I loved Ron Perlman as Colleen Tragan or Tack. His performance was amazing. I do have an issue with the movie in the sense that by being just a movie, it condenses the book so much that you lose some of the best parts of the book. If this had been a miniseries, this would have been a classic. I will say great, but it had potential of being a classic. The other thing is that for some reason the movie feels very bright and lit up, and when you're
Yeah.
reading the book, you get this idea of everything being like really dark and depressive and
Yep.
depressing and everything. But yeah, the movie for me was great.
Death.
so I really appreciate Carlos' comments because I love this movie and I've rewatched it, but every time I rewatch it, something doesn't work. I feel like something's missing. I haven't read the book. I'm a big fan of Annabeth Gish, but literally I don't remember her in the movie.
So
Ron Perlman is my memory.
so
And
I have to say this,
go ahead.
Jeff, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I remember when Annabeth Gish was a weekend movie hostess on USA.
Right. Really?
Yeah, that's
I
where I know her
was
from.
that before or after Mystic Pizza?
Way before that would have been after.
She was a host after Mystic Pizza. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I love that USA Today Network.
She's in
I
like
got to meet her, and she was the nicest lady.
she's in like 2 or 3 Mike Flanagan miniseries,
But
and
Oh yeah,
she's
she's a
yes,
great actress.
she's
I don't
she's
have anything
amazing.
against her, but
So I just there's something about that miniseries. I think it was done as a miniseries, but
No,
I've
it was a movie.
rewatched it. I would go back to it now and then, and I do enjoy it. But there's something missing every time I watch it. I get into it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why was this made? And so it kind of falls apart at some point. But I just ride it through, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's a so you can kind of tell why they didn't do certain parts of it. Most likely because of budget. In the book, there's this story about a place they call the China Pit,
Well, that was cool.
and
Thanks,
yeah,
Shane.
that's exactly the sentiment. Um,
Sorry.
that's okay. There's this thing in the book called the China Pit that is probably one of the scariest, most horrible things I've read from King, and just the fact that that didn't
Wow.
really make it into the movie, uh, or at least more extensively, for me that killed it. But overall, yeah, Ron Perlman was amazing in it.
I have that novel somewhere. I have a ton of books I haven't read. I stopped reading at some point. And I do have that combination. Was it Desperation and what
And
was the other one?
Regulators, yeah. I got those two in hardcover. You can put them together.
Same, yeah.
Have
So
it.
much fun.
So, what was that? Can you briefly share what the pit was about?
So the China Pit was about like a mine in which they brought Chinese immigrant workers, and they had them working there, and then the pit collapsed. And the problem was that they had
Damn.
dug up something that was, well, the villain of the book, which is Stack. It started possessing them, and they started killing and murdering each other in there. And when they went in to try to rescue them, all they could hear were like people just screaming and hollering and everything. And then one
Yeah.
person actually managed to get out of that place. And what he did was just, I believe it was that he took a gun and he shot himself because, nothing should get out of that pit. But whatever happened there just ended up infecting people, jumping from one person to another. And there was one guy that they actually hanged.
Damn.
Yeah, because of what happened there, and that was one of the people that was infected by it. But it was, I don't have the full story like right off the top of my head, but the way it's described is really dark and violent and horrible.
I need to read this now.
Yeah.
They're great books, both of them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever drive through Nevada and shit?
Yeah.
And get pulled over? It's just fucking. I'm sorry, Mark. What were you saying?
It's so long. I think we got Shane's opinion about it. We have number 58, the 408-minute miniseries, Nightmares and Dreamscapes, from the stories of Stephen King, 2006.
I never saw it.
I never heard of it, but it sounds good. I'd
William
watch it.
Casey.
I have the book, but I've never read it. So
it's a great book.
I
really good.
own it, but I literally draw a blank except for the Army episode. There's an episode, it's an anthology.
Right.
And there's a thing with miniature plastic army people.
Oh.
That's like a Twilight Zone, though, too.
Yeah, it is.
But what I'm trying to remember, this will
I've read the
possibly
book,
come up
so
later, is I thought there was a moment where they did Quitters Incorporated.
That's from a different book, but
they did later. No, I understand.
Redo it, but that was done in Cat's Eye. Did they redo it?
For Nightmares and Dreamscapes, they actually just pulled different things. I think I may be wrong, but I swear I remember a Quitters Incorporated short.
There's going to be something coming up which will refresh your memory. So.
And yeah, I saw that too, but I haven't seen that. And it made me think that they redid it as a movie later. So,
Carlos?
I have not, but I'm already putting it on my list. I can't believe I haven't watched it. I didn't even know it existed until now, and now I want to watch it.
Me neither. Did not know it existed until you just said it. Yeah.
It's got almost
would have
like
watched it.
9 out of 10 on IMDb, so it seems to be pretty well.
How much? A 9 out of 10?
No, 7. 6.8. So
I wasn't disappointed in it, so I mean, like I say, I own the collection. So
yeah, and we know for
Shane,
horror,
what about you?
For horror, a 7 is like a 9, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
On IMDb, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're asking me.
Yeah.
Shane?
Really?
Shane.
Well, according to Mark,
I have not seen this. Not sure if I should write it down or not, though.
The Army episode is worth seeing.
The army episode. All right. Well, I'll write that down.
Yeah. You know the little plastic army man you play with when you're a kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's basically Trilogy of Terror with them.
So it's like
Uh,
Toy Story gone, like
Yeah.
you know.
So
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay. All right. It's
Okay.
like a Brothers Grimm on Toy Story. Gotcha.
Before Toy Story came along.
Next one up. I think this works best as a one-time watch, but I really like it. It's the 2007 John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson vehicle, 1408.
Classic.
Classic.
Shout out to Cassandra, who recommended I watch it. I just watched it for the first time the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos, what did you think?
Classic, definitely.
John
And
Cusack is John Cusack. In.
Shane?
that's one of
For
that's
me,
one of
it's a
those movies
classic.
that illustrate my point that a 7 is a 9 when it comes to horror. I mean, the critics hated this movie, like they despised it, and it's really really good.
Yep. Shane?
No, I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, it's visually well done. The story keeps you guessing. The whole levels of madness that it goes through, to come to that conclusion of, at the end letting go. I mean, again, this movie, I don't know, the last episode we were talking about, there are alternate endings. I don't know if you guys know that. There are two
Mhm.
different endings
Wow.
to that
Didn't know that.
movie. And
Yep.
I don't want to spoil it any, obviously 10 years later, you should have watched the fucking movie. But
10 years? What?
Yeah. Longer,
I'm
right?
saying
That's
more.
almost 20 years old.
I'm saying
Is it
more than 10
20?
years.
No.
You should have seen it.
It's
at this
almost
point.
20.
No.
It's 2007.
Well,
It's
so
almost
that's
20
what I'm
years
saying.
old.
So it's more.
That's
well,
not even close.
okay.
That's fucking.
It's 3 years shy of being 20 years old,
I'm
Matthew.
saying it's
Four,
been
right?
more.
So
I'm saying it's been more
podcast
than
is
What's
10
easy for
years.
me?
You
moving
should
My
have
into
seen the
son's
math,
movie.
17.
I'm saying it's been more than 10 years. You should have seen the movie. Is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's true. Yes, that's
Okay,
fair.
so that's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to necessarily say that's a spoiler, but I mean, like,
You're
there's two
both
different
wrong.
endings to the movie.
It's
Where
not 20
one,
and it's not 10.
he dies in the thing, right?
Let him talk.
So,
Huh?
hang on a second, guys. I'm going to let you finish, but Matthew, we need to have a discussion here.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Don't listen to him.
This movie came out in 2007. We're now in 2023. We're almost
Yes.
into December
So
of
that would be
2023.
2027, Jim, if it was 20 years.
Correct. So we are 3 years and 1 month away from it being 2 decades old. That's close enough for being saying almost 20
3
years old.
years is close enough to you?
Yes,
Matthew the
That's a long
mathematician.
time to me.
because
I mean,
I'm
what's
40.
the difference?
It's
It's 3 years.
I am 47, and I will say I'm pushing 50.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
didn't say the movie was pushing 20. You said the
I
movie
said
was
it's-
20.
I said
You're
it's
still a youngsters.
So wait, what's the timeline to be able to tell spoilers? Is it 10?
This is the movie he should have
plus
gave to
years?
Spielberg.
I'm
So-
saying
No.
if you're going to give a
Don't you
spoiler,
think instead of giving him that stupid Red Rose movie?
So
I
let
have
me.
some notes on this movie.
So I will say this about this movie is after watching this movie and getting so incredibly frustrated with him constantly winding up back in the apartment, I was
Yeah.
constantly using the Tangina Barron line from Poltergeist 3 where she holds out the amulet and says outside in. I was saying that a lot during this movie.
Nerd.
I know.
I was doing the old Bill Murray Groundhog's Day routine.
Yeah.
Guys,
So
I
Jeff,
think that applies more. I was like
Yeah.
outside in.
sorry, Jeff, you wanted to say
but that's
something?
part of the movie is
I do have
madness.
some interesting roundtable notes on this movie.
Okay.
Okay, if you'll recall, he's drinking from the bottle and he thinks it's been tainted and causing him to see things.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would like to know from everybody, if you had a bottle that made you see ghosts, would you stop drinking or drink more, even if it appeared they were deadly?
So I personally would probably drink more until I passed out.
I would love that.
Mm.
Well, see, but I'm the type of person that, okay, most people would run from a specter, spook, or ghost, right? I would want to figure out, why are you here? What are you doing? Can I help you? Get the fuck out.
You
Right?
say
Like,
that,
so
but I
for
would
me,
love to
it
see
would
a
it wouldn't
decrepit 80 year
necessarily
old woman
scare
getting
me.
out of your bathtub.
But
What?
no,
That's
no. But
weird.
the point,
You
I
look,
got a banner
but
that's your
No,
Christmas wish
but the
what I'm
point
for Shane.
that he's making is, the more that you drink, the deeper you go. Right? It's
Yes.
essentially like in Alice in Wonderland. You're going down the rabbit hole. So
Right.
essentially, what is the end game? I
blackout.
mean,
I would drink more. I would like to bring it on, bitch.
he saw the suicides. He saw his past. Right.
Yeah.
He had to hold it and let it go one more time. Right. In order for all that stuff to coincide, it's he had to watch other people's demise to meet his own, and then understand it, and then let it go. So I mean, it that movie fucked with you, especially if you have kids. Me
Yeah.
having a daughter,
Uh,
you know what I mean. Like, it would
the
be
old
something very
heartstrings
hard.
thing.
Is
No, I'm just saying, if you had a daughter or a son, and something tragic like that happened,
Yeah.
it would be a hard thing to let go in that moment, and then have to relive that fucking terror. And that's what coincides with me, is because I do have a kid. So, it's like, okay, yeah, this bitch got burned up, and then it's like, you have to relive that. Would you want
Yeah.
to? Like, and
That's
you
sad.
can't kill yourself because you
is
wake up like the Groundhog Day. No,
And you can go
like,
back to another 60 minutes if you
it's
want.
enough
Yeah.
to drive you fucking insane.
but
That's the point of it. Is that it is so great, because at the end of it, nobody believed him until that bitch heard his daughter's voice on the cassette
Well,
tape.
I mean,
so
Oh,
it
yeah.
that's the
it
part
it,
that I'm missing, is I have to have kids to enjoy this movie.
it well,
That's true.
it's
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You could have a
You can
dog or a
still
cat that got hit,
empathize.
but
it's a
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but I'm
But
not
like,
going to hear their voice on a tape.
it's a
it
great
doesn't have to be a
channel.
kid. It doesn't have to be a kid. It could be your parent. It could be a
It,
grandparent. It could be
I
an
can.
animal.
So it could be frequency then, is what you're
it could
telling
be
me.
Ray.
I
Hey,
have
frequency.
Oh God, I would run.
Yeah,
I have
What's the
exactly.
3 points.
Kenneth?
I can skip to the third if you don't
Fuck
want to hear them
frequency.
all.
I'd rather do contact. If I,
Oh,
I'm just
fuck
saying, that's
So,
more
frequency.
my speed.
so, so just to move us along a little bit here. For me, 1408. I don't know if it. I think it's great, but I don't think it really signs up for a rewatch, just because that amazing first time watch of when he goes back
Mm.
to what he thinks is his normal life. And it's like extended, right? It's not
Yep.
just like he goes back and he wakes up and
Suck.
he's, oh, I'm looking in my room and everything seems great. And then he gets pulled back in. No, it's like 15 minutes of him walking around and doing
Look,
normal shit and then pulling him back in, which is amazing.
no.
But you don't really want to rewatch it because,
No.
I
you
I
know,
don't
it's,
think you like it because it has to do with surfing, Mark, and that has to do with Hawaii.
Okay. I must announce my third point, skipping my second point,
okay.
which is dreamland syndrome. I hate that in movies and shows where everything is normal. And in this movie, it goes on fucking way too long. You know where it's going to end. And it's like precious movie time. Just fucking move along. We know he's going to end up back in the fucking room.
Well,
Why
that's like the whole
go
movie
on
of
so
Inception.
long? Huh?
But
So,
that's the whole
no,
movie of
but
Inception.
hang on, Shane. But I think because it goes on so long, it kind
Yeah.
of sets up the audience to actually buy
No.
into it, right? Because I think a lot of movies.
No.
No,
I
I
well,
would
for
agree
me
with
it
Jeff.
does. For me, it does. I was like, it went on so long. I'm like, maybe there's something else after this that's not
No.
that's going to like tie it back because it's not usual as an audience member to watch that long. Like you look at the Sixth Sense or any of these things, right? There's a
Right.
twist or whatever.
But that's great.
But this is like in kind of the middle of the movie, a long extended time of the movie taking up mundane shit. And it almost for me, well, it worked for me.
Well,
So
I don't know. I could have done without the village people knocking down the walls for a minute
Yeah.
and a half. I mean,
Or it could
really.
have happened earlier.
Yeah.
That's my issue is you are really dumbing down what you think your audience is. I'm like, come on, we fucking know where this is heading. So don't spend 15 minutes with Mary McCormick, who I love, by the way, telling us that he's fine, everything's fine. We know where it's going. Skip
Um,
to
it,
get there.
it worked for me for a one-time
Right.
viewing, which is
But
why
I
I'm
didn't know it was going to happen like that. I
like
did.
I don't feel like ever rewatching it, even though there's great parts in it.
Yeah.
Just because there is that extended part in the middle, which I just don't want to sit through again. It's like the others, right? You brought up the others. That whole
Right.
with the soldier
I
guy
love that.
coming back and stuff. I
Yep.
can't stand it. Can't stand it at all. Boring as shit.
Yeah.
And I would never rewatch it. And I think it drags the movie down. This one actually has more of a purpose, misdirection for the audience, which I really like, but I just never feel like going back to it.
I think
My
a lot,
second
I
point
think a
is,
lot of
by
movies
the way,
have. Sorry, I
Can we,
think a lot
can
of
we
movies
not
have
touch
that
on
one
the
scene that you just can't stand rewatching. But it doesn't mean like
Yep.
you wouldn't rewatch the whole movie or that it lowers the movie's value just for that one scene. But I mean, like for example, the example Mark mentioned about the others with the husband scene. Uh, I hated it since the first time I watched it, but I don't think I felt the same with 1408 in that scene. Even though,
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with Jeff that it was obvious what was going to happen for me, at least.
it went on too long.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think to properly set up the mood of what was going on and land the punch that much better. I think it worked. For me, it
Yeah,
didn't detract from the movie. I wouldn't watch it again, but because of that, but
yeah,
on a
yeah.
first
I
time
think
watch, it
because
worked.
I think if you made it shorter, it wouldn't have worked for me. So the fact that it went on so long worked for me, but that meant
Wow.
that I don't want to watch it again because I already know there's going to be this 15 minutes of just
Well,
movie stuff, which I already kind of guessed, right? I'm not stupid, but um, it's just like it just slows it all down, right? Everything that's going on just slows it down. So
No, I think it's the first movie that Samuel L. Jackson hasn't said motherfucker in it. So yeah,
There's ghost in the hotel,
motherfucking
motherfuckers.
seats on this
that's
plane.
probably why it
I'm
didn't
sick of
rank
these
in the top
motherfucking ghosts in
9%.
this motherfucking hotel.
That's what I'm saying. You know, if he doesn't have that line in there, it doesn't make it, top 10, unfortunately. Even Ryan Reynolds said that. He's like, this person ruined the word motherfucker personally. You know how hard that is? You know?
But
So,
Jim, we're confident in the fact that Mark is wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah, we are.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
fine. It's all
It's a
subjective.
great haunted
It's not subjective.
story. It's a
This is
great ghost
objective.
story. It does what it does so well. It's almost like you could
Mhm.
show it to film students. As like a
no,
example
Yeah.
of every trope, and they
Yep.
nail them. I
Yep.
mean, in a lot of
well,
ways,
I'll
it's
tell you,
Hughes
nothing
I'll
new
tell
at
you,
all. But it's
Wait, hang on, everybody. Hang on.
Oh,
Look who it is.
Yay!
Look who it is, guys.
Hey, hey,
Hi,
hey,
Cass.
guys.
hello.
turn on
You
the
know,
video, Cass.
I'm trying. Hold on.
I'll tell you this.
There she
There
is.
she is.
Aw.
What's going
Hi.
on,
Hell
guys?
yeah.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome.
How's it
Honestly,
going?
though, the look that John Cusack gave his wife at the end when he found out about that tape, when she heard it, that was
Yeah.
enough for me. That
Boy.
solidified the movie. Like,
Oh.
damn, okay, I can feel his agony. Like it was enough. He stayed quiet at the time where he needed to be like, see, I fucking told you. But he stayed true to be like, I'm right. Like
That's
you
the
weren't
genius
listening.
of Cusack.
But
So-
that's Cusack though. I mean, he has that mentality.
so
Yeah.
so
So-
so we have Cass joining us, and I think that means we start from Carrie, Stephen King's first adaptation, and we'll go from there.
No.
Well, I hear you guys talking.
Can I throw in one last point?
Could
By the
you?
way,
I
Nah,
can't. I
hold-
came
hold
in on
one sec.
Cusack, so I'm assuming you guys are talking about 1408.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes. I'm sorry you missed that because you're the one who I told them recommended I watch it, and I
Yep.
just watched it. So, Um, not for discussion because I know we need to move on, but just throwing this out there: are ghosts time travelers?
Go-
Well, you know,
what's the question?
I've been researching this, and a lot of the owners of
Wow.
haunted houses say yes, absolutely, 100%. That the house
That's
itself is a
awesome.
time traveling machine. I've been doing the Conjuring house, you know, but studying the
Mhm.
real thing of the ghost Bethesda. Bathsheba. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
Bathsheba.
Okay.
Yes.
you know about all the true stuff. It's fucked up.
I don't know
They've
that.
slandered her name like really terribly. It's
Wow.
it's crazy stuff. But that's what the owners of the house said. It was they kept saying it over
Wait,
and over in the books. It's a time
who
machine.
I'm
slandered
glad
her
I
name?
raised the question.
So wait, who slandered her name? The movie or the
Everybody.
actual like article?
Yeah, everybody.
The movie, the
everybody
people that
involved
lived
in
in
her
the
life.
house.
Yeah.
No kidding.
No, but
Okay.
she died. No one really. There's no record that she ever did anything bad at all. None.
Right. Exactly.
And these people just like took her name and went crazy
Yep.
with it.
So when you say these people, are you talking about the Warrens, or are you talking about just anybody who
Yes,
made that
the
movie?
Warrens, the
everybody.
Warrens especially, but the actual owners of the house as well. It's
I know
such a
someone who
shit
knew
show
the
craziness. It's yeah.
I'm so far gone right now.
Mark, what's next?
Moving on.
That's a good thing.
We have one of the legitimately best endings to a mainstream movie ever made.
In your opinion?
No. Objectively,
Yes. No, not
I
objectively.
know what this is.
Directed The Mist.
Yep.
Oh,
Matthew?
That's all right.
no,
I'm serious. I'm not even
no,
joking.
no, I'm sorry. No,
Whatever. That's
I
that one that
can't,
Stephen
I
King
can't.
wrote, right?
First
What?
off, you
And
got
They're in the
Thomas
supermarket?
King.
No, you got Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane is one of my favorite people.
Shut up,
Hands
shut up,
down.
you
He
fucking-
is my Punisher. You know what I mean? Not only that, the whole Mist thing with the whole ending part of it got me.
He got everybody. Are you kidding?
I'm
Didn't
just
get
saying,
me.
you waited 30 seconds, outcome would have been completely different.
But that's
Like-
that's the brilliance of the movie.
That's what I'm
No, it's
saying.
not.
It's disgustingly beautiful. Disgustingly
Total
beautiful.
naysayer here.
So
I
okay,
am going to shout
I
it
will.
to
I
the
will say
skies.
this. I will say this. So I think when you have the actual author of the story, of the short story, when Stephen King himself says he looks at that ending and goes like, "Wow, I should have done that." I mean, I think that kind of devalues any argument against that ending. I mean, that ending is amazing. It's
I agree.
horrible.
Well,
it's realistic. It's terrible, but you know.
hang on. Carlos, I totally agree with you. But I will bring Jim back to a director's vision and a writer's vision is the absolute word about how it is.
It is not.
No.
John Carpenter.
No. Do
So-
not bring up that fucking trilogy again. That is not a trilogy, Mark.
Oh, this is amazing because I watched some of it and I thought this is the Apocalypse trilogy.
This
The
is not the
Apocalypse
Apocalypse trilogy. The Apocalypse trilogy is not a thing. It is a garbage way for somebody to connect three movies that have nothing to do with each other.
I'm with Jim.
The only thing I could say about the Mist movie, okay, is visually, I think they could have done a little bit better than having those things with the crazy chameleon eyes, everything. You know,
What?
like the little stinger thing. Like they could have done a little for a low budget film. They didn't need to make it so Sharknado. They could have done a little bit better.
That
visually.
wasn't a low budget film, though.
I
That
think
was a
Well,
low
I'm
budget
not-
film.
the CGI was pretty great.
Visually, it was. I mean,
Yeah,
At the
that's
time. I mean, I haven't
CGI was
rewatched it, so I don't know if it held up.
CGI is
When did
visual.
it come
I
out?
mean,
Wait,
serious,
is this
no,
going to be
what exact year did it
my
come
new
out?
event? Is this going to be my new event Horizon if I rewatch it?
In what sense?
Yes,
I hated
you
Event
were
Horizon.
2 out of 10.
What was the year that it
Event
came out?
Horizon had a little bit better visual,
So-
I think, but
So let me just say this. Mark is really pissed at me because I absolutely love Event Horizon. However, I will score it a 6 out of 10 because the
But-
CGI does not hold up and it does detract from the movie.
Thank you for telling us that, Jim, in the middle of a Stephen King
But
fucking
how?
podcast.
But that's why I'm asking. That's why I asked, is this
Jim?
going to be an Event Horizon if I rewatch it?
Jim, do you absolutely love Ray? Well,
Ask
you're
me
right.
on another day.
The Mist is brilliant. It has Carol and what's her name from Walking Dead.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go
don't disagree. I love the
Walking
movie.
Dead, because Frank
Oh
Darabont.
no,
No,
White
it
is
actually has
awesome.
like 3 or 4 actors from The Walking Dead in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
yes, it
The
does.
Lord
Actually,
Holden,
ending is
yes.
horrendous.
Wait. We need a voice of reason. Cass, what did you think?
For Christ's sake, it's not going to be your. It's not going to be your new Event Horizon. I, for one, thought it was interesting that how they took place in Shreveport, Louisiana, instead of Maine. Thanks a lot, guys. It was inspired by Night of the Living Dead. Did you know that? Or one of the bits of inspiration. The Mist was great.
Wow.
To an extent. But we're not talking about soundtracks. I actually like that, but it's definitely not up there for me at all. As far as Stephen King is concerned, guys.
Ooh.
Oh.
No.
Ooh.
I have,
Friends.
ooh, I have that. There's that. I'm getting warmed up.
Love you, Kat.
You don't
Mark?
have to, but I love you.
Well, imagine if we all agreed about it. It would be fucking awful. Like,
Yeah, it
what's
would be.
in the podcast if we all.
Sure.
I think
I
it's
have
absolutely
lyrics on this one, by the
amazing.
way.
I love it. I love the ending. The ending to me is just the cherry on top of the cake.
Yes, sir.
I love Jack.
Fucking would
I
be.
love Toby Jones. I love Thomas Jane. All the Walking Dead actors. I love that the actual threat isn't the fucking huge monsters outside. It's the fucking crazy religious woman inside.
Yes.
That's the real threat of the movie. And I think that's
Marvelous.
Yep.
Well,
Marcia Gay Harden was fantastic.
yeah.
Well,
You
She
love
nailed it.
to hate her.
Oh, and the other
If I
thing
may
is,
say-
technically, she got away with it. I mean, she was awful the whole movie. She was this
Right.
hateable villain, and she ended up being right. That's the biggest
Well-
sucker punch from this movie. Not
What?
just the ending, but the fact that she
She
kind of
wasn't
got away
right.
with it.
She wasn't right.
I don't know.
Shut
No,
down.
no. I mean, as far as the movie is concerned, in the sense that
She's
She was
everybody
dead
can
as a
stay
bullet
there.
in the head.
But hang on, she's not right. I don't. What do you mean she's right?
I mean,
don't
if
understand.
everybody had kind of listened to her and just stayed put, none of the things that
But she
happened at
was
the end would have happened.
sacrificing people.
Well, yeah,
no, like
she
the
was
first,
horrible, and she was
like,
killing
like,
people
like,
and everything,
No,
but,
no,
Carol.
no, if you think
Hang
about
on.
it, she had a
Hey, well,
problem with saying.
Shane, hang on. So Carol left at the start, right? Carol from The Walking Dead, and she was one at the end, and she had her kids. So she survived with her kids, right? So she wasn't right.
well, that's a good
Well,
point. I can see that.
But the Christian chick that Carlos is talking about, she also said, if you remember, she said you're just stacking bags of shit. She, I don't think necessarily wanted to stay there. She had her own choice. But again, with
No,
this
she
movie,
wanted to control the people around her.
Wait, let
Right,
Shane finish. Let Shane finish.
right? But with this movie, the reason why I like it is because it has something for everybody. You had every type of person where you got the Thomas Jane who thinks, logically, like, don't do that. Let's just don't open that door, this, that, and the other. Okay, we can solve this problem without fucking everybody up, right? Then you got the crazy Christian chick. You got that one dude who's like, I don't care about anything. Let me just grab my knife because I'm a biker dude. I'm a hard ass. But like I said, there's a little bit of everything for everybody in this movie. You got the caring parent who doesn't want to
Good
go
point.
outside. You got that one chick that's worried about her kids who has to go outside. It's like, so there's a little bit of everything in this movie for everybody in any kind of situation, whether you have kids or you don't.
So what
You know
he's
what I
saying
mean?
is,
Like,
what he's saying is, kudos to Stephen King for actually representing more than one person in a movie.
more than
I mean, it's
one
about a whole town, right?
Right.
I'm just. I mean,
Amazing.
So
That's one of the things that Stephen King is good at. Like
Yeah.
Salem's Lot was one of his earlier novels, his first novels. You know
Well,
what I mean? And he did that. And look at like some of just it and like
Yeah.
I mean these vast character studies.
look at the casting
this
for
is-
his
He's good with
miniseries and
relatability.
movies. A lot of people who are core performers.
Yeah. Kaz, what did you say?
I said he is strong when it comes to relatability.
Yep.
Yes.
Agreed.
So,
Like
so
the town, the little town, like all the different characters.
Storm of the Century really exemplifies that.
yes,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
but I think a lot of these stories, it's like a zombie story, etc.
Yeah,
like
it's
Night of
just
the
like
Dead.
you
It's
find out that the problem isn't outside; it's inside. That's
right,
like
right.
it's an old trope.
It's
It's
about
all coming from
tribalism.
inside the house.
Right, it's about tribalism, and then you add religion onto that, and then you get
Sure.
more problems.
Right.
But
So, Mark?
anyway, I love it.
I have some notes on this one. I can
ahead.
like buzz through them real quick if you want.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm not surprised, Jeff.
Okay. I know. I kind of jumped
He's-
into it a little bit today.
Right, and he's
So
been
to me,
he's
it
seen
was-
it recently, so
To me, it was a little bit of a War of the Worlds kind of drama.
Mhm.
When it came to the spiders, I thought of the RPG Gamma World. I was like, did Stephen King actually roll up a bunch of horrible monsters from this? I loved when Irene by Frances Sternhagen was confronted by a spider, and she basically fucking drops it like Xena. She raises her spray can and lights it up. So, my
Hey
problem
Jeff, you were
with,
just saying how about the monsters and Stephen King. I actually read an interview with him where he talked about the how he was inspired by this story, and he said he was having writer's block. This is kind of funny. I don't know.
Really?
It's goofy. And he was in a supermarket shopping, and he looked up and said, "Wouldn't it be weird if there was like a manta ray floating by here?" And
Oh
that
my
was his
God, that's
first
like
thought. And then he
Lovecraft.
was like, all of a sudden, he said his writer block broke, and he fucking like ran home from the supermarket and started typing and wrote it out.
That's the
Carlos
first I've
just
heard of
brought
that.
Well,
something
the
up.
spider shooting acid webs just is phenomenal.
How
That's
high
like
Carlos
was
just
he?
brought something up that I want him to discuss.
I don't think he was high for that one. When did he? Which one? That was the first story in. Is it not Skeleton Crew? Is it? It's after that, right?
I don't remember.
I
Is
don't
the Mist the
remember
first
which one
story
it
in
was, but
Skeleton Crew?
I know it had to have been
Fucking
some
hold on one second.
time in the 90s,
You know,
late
like
80s.
Matt's going into the library.
I just
Right?
happen to have
Hold
a
on,
first
let me
pressing,
grab it
first
right
edition
here.
sitting here. Yeah, it's the Mist. It's the first one. Yeah. Just grabbed this bad boy the other day. I love these old books, man. They're
You
so
can't
cool. I mean,
do a
look, they're
short
like
podcast on
classic,
Stephen
dude. I
King.
just love
Yeah.
these. I got tons of them. First edition, first pressings of the old '80s look.
Well, that would put a whole different spin on Spider-Man if his, web shooter was acidic.
Yep.
So
I
Carlos,
love
what did
though.
you? How
I
did
remember
you?
reading that in the novella.
Are we talking
It
about
was like,
Silence of the Lambs again with the Jodie Foster scene?
No, they're talking about Spider-Man being acidic. Oh God,
Hey,
Matthew.
wait, we got a female on here now.
They
Yeah,
brought
but
it
she's
up. They brought it up.
don't like single Cassandra out as the female. I'm putting.
I
my
don't think any
quotation
chick
marks
likes
up
a
here.
female that.
We must protect
Fuck
Cass at
that.
all costs.
Dude,
Don't
Oh,
you
shut up, you
don't you fucking
misogynistic
dare.
freak.
before she showed me shit, I'm like, damn,
right.
dude, holy fuck.
Hey,
I'm
Carlos,
so
you
glad
mentioned
now
something
I may
about
be
Silent Hill.
screwing up.
So
I have
okay,
an epic question for all of you.
Hold on 1 second, Jeff. Carlos brought up a point about Silent Hill I wanted him to mention.
Sure.
So no, it's more of a fun fact. Like the makers of Silent Hill, like the video game itself, they did mention the Mist as one of their influences. Even though the Mist in the game was a result of like software or hardware limitations, when it came to the actual idea of Mist and monsters appearing out of it, and even some of the designs a little bit of like the flying monsters and things like that, the idea was kind of borrowed from the Mist. So it was just
Nice.
a fun fact.
So, do you know what movie reminds me of Silent Hill the most, apart from the Silent Hill movies?
Which one?
Silent Hill.
Phantoms, the Dinar
Oh,
King.
shut up with that garbage.
Oh,
It
What
really,
was that?
that's a classic flick.
it really is.
That
like
movie's
Silent Hill.
garbage.
Oh, Cass is
No,
laughing.
whether you like it or it's very much like a Silent Hill movie.
It does
No,
have
it's
some
garbage.
shades of it.
All right.
Stay
Yeah.
away,
Well, okay.
Cass.
No, it's
Let
just
me-
these
let-
two ladies arguing about. It's just.
All right, so let me ask you this: could the mist also be tied in with a little bit of the Cloverfield effect, if you will, because they have those giant things?
No, because Cloverfield was
No.
aliens. It was not the U.S. government.
Well, I mean, it's still
Cloverfield
it's still a
is
portal.
I like it.
They
but
opened
it's
up a portal to an alien world
Yeah.
to let shit in. So I mean, essentially, alien is anything that's not necessarily from this planet. So those things weren't from here, which is considered alien. I mean, Mexicans are considered aliens. So why wouldn't a big ass fucking thing could be considered alien? I'm just saying, like, so why wouldn't a big Godzilla be considered alien?
As the only female here, I'm offended.
Hey, I'm from Hawaii. I can say that. Okay?
Oh my god!
Roundtable question.
Well, I
I'm
was
from
gonna post
Costa
this to
Rica,
YouTube,
and
but
I
it's
endorse your
happening now.
comments on Mexicans.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there's
Oh
I
my
do
god.
have a
a big
roundtable
ass
question.
alien that came here from the Cloverfield.
Oh my
effect.
god!
What's any different from the mist?
God, I'm glad I drank.
Oh my god!
Hey, my best friend is
Okay.
Cuban.
Are you
and that's
okay?
close enough.
No,
Okay.
No.
Let me know when you want my roundtable question.
Yeah, I'm ready for your roundtable question, Jeff. Come on.
Okay. What order did he shoot them in?
Okay, so it was. Are you talking about by the book or by the movie?
No, wait, hang on.
Movie. You
In
don't
the
The
see
movie
it.
doesn't portray it, but the
I
book
know,
it does
so
tell
I
you.
know what you think. What do you think? Who do
All
you
right,
think shot
it's
first,
gonna
second,
be
third,
all right.
fourth,
So
fifth?
it would be the two old. All right, so he's gonna shoot the sun first. He's gonna
What?
shoot the
Wait.
sun first. Then
Yes.
the chick he likes, and then the two olders. I'm gonna say with the female first, and then the older male.
Okay.
I think he went psycho after shooting his son, and they just like went
No. Okay.
crazy.
So the true answer is he shot like 2 bullets into both of the old people, and then the bullet into the other woman, and then fucked his son to death.
That's
sorry,
fucked
that's
up.
gonna be killed.
This is not a Serbian film, Mark.
And then the man in the black mask took the baby.
I do want to say I watched the ending again today, and I laughed hysterically at the ending because it's too rushed. It's ridiculous. It's just totally ridiculous.
This fucking thing went sideways.
Hey,
quick.
Mark. Hey, Mark.
Yes.
What's next on the list?
Yeah,
We've beaten this dead horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more like beating the dead kid. But anyway, let's continue.
The 2007 no smoking.
Never heard of it.
So is this Quitters Incorporated?
Right.
They
But
actually
it's
made a movie
different
of
though,
it.
right? It's like the same theme, but he had made a full feature length out of it. Is that right?
That's
No?
weird.
I remember
Yep.
this vaguely. Yeah.
From the title, which, as I'm coughing, probably makes sense. A heavily addicted smoker is unprepared to pay the true price he must pay when asking a guru's help to kick the habit. 128 minutes, no smoking, 7.3. Oh, I think this is like this might be like an Indian.
I was just gonna ask if that was the Indian film. Do you guys like my little?
You got a
That's
little
what I
thing
said.
hanging
And they
there?
told me to
I
put it
mean-
away.
I wasn't going to talk about your
I didn't take
dangly
my
bits,
pills.
but you know.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it was an Indian adaptation, but I
Mm.
I love the short story.
Oh.
That was
I
one of
do
my
too.
favorites.
I mean,
Definitely.
I don't know what the cost
Dangly
of this
bits.
guru is, but I would have guessed lung cancer. Is that the cost? Somebody clue me in.
Okay, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, normally if
floating
you're a
around.
heavily addicted smoker,
Yes.
your biggest cost would
Trying
be
to
lung
say like the
cancer.
hidden
So
curse, and
right. So
the-
what is he requiring of people?
Yeah.
Is my question.
But you've
Well-
seen Cat's Eyes, right?
Yes.
Huh?
The no smoking
Critters
section,
Incorporated.
right?
So
I think it's
I,
just
I saw Cat's Eye 30 years ago.
I'm so
Okay,
lost.
that's not
It's
my
also
fault.
a short story in the graveyard, whatever it's called. You know.
Oh, so it's Quitters Incorporated in Cat's Eye?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
this is like an Indian version of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know why. But
I've only seen
I mean-
one movie.
Lance Armstrong never smoked, and he had lung cancer.
Yeah, and lots
His
of people
cancer was a
smoking
little
don't
bit
get
lower
it.
than
I
his
mean,
lungs, sir.
Neither did
It's a weird
Walter
thing, man.
White.
let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Fuck
Okay.
Lance Armstrong.
Moving along, since nobody's seen this one because we're just at 62.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we can move along
Another
a
20
lot.
plus. Dolan's Cadillac?
Never heard of it.
What?
Dolan's
Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Classic
That's the
short
one with
story
Jamie Lee
from
Curtis.
it's from Nightmares
Are
and Dreamscapes. I think it's like this gangster wants to be buried in his Cadillac and shit. It's really cool.
Right,
What's
it's
it?
Christian
It's really
Slater.
fun.
Which is
I
surprising.
never
because
did
love
see the
Christian
movie,
Slater.
but it's a great short story.
Don't watch
Never
the
heard of
film.
Don't know it.
No, it's no good, Cass.
No, please don't.
Oh,
I
move on.
was
It's that
so
bad?
incredibly disappointed. It was for me. It was one of those that I fell asleep. It was bad.
Can we pause here for a moment?
Sure.
I want to suggest that at the end of this, if we have time, we talk about the Stephen King syndrome, which is the effort of films and miniseries and so forth to capture that Stephen King spirit and where they fail and where they don't, where they succeed.
We could try, but I'm not sure how long we plan on
No,
going.
I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Maybe part 3.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
part
Yeah,
3.
maybe
There you
part
go.
3 because I
Part
only have
3.
like 30 minutes.
You guys should have had it in the old great okay nah dog shit.
Hey,
and
I've
then
only
have
been
a
paid
scale
for it
of
too.
Next up is number 63, 2010 to 2015,
Mm-hmm.
crime drama fantasy, Haven.
Love it.
I
Yeah.
have seen parts of it. I
It's-
would like to watch more.
It's based on the short story The Colorado Kid.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Eureka, the
It is.
miniseries.
It is very much in the same vein, but it does get a little bit darker than Eureka did.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move quickly along unless anybody wants to rate these up pretty quickly.
I think that Haven is a classic. I think anybody who hasn't
Oh,
seen
really?
it should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to talk about Haven?
No.
Okay.
Thinking for everybody else.
It's part of what made the Sci-Fi Channel great, though. That series was.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah.
I see.
True.
Okay.
You're right.
Next up is Pierce Brosnan in 2011's Bag of Bones.
The book was
I don't
amazing.
remember
I never
that.
saw the movie.
Same here.
Beth Gitch is in it. Whoever she is, y'all talk about.
Yay.
I've never
I
heard
hated
of her.
that stupid book. I thought it was written worse than the Dead Zone.
Really.
Nobody asked you.
It's night shift for me or nothing.
So, no other comments on that one?
It's just
I think
okay.
Matt did it.
Yeah, Matt
Different
said
reason.
it.
Okay, next up is the obviously hideous, and everybody would make fun of her, Chloe Grace Moretz in Carrie,
Oh, God.
2013.
It's dog shit.
Poor shit.
I mean, she's too cute to be Carrie.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
It's
Cass, you missed it.
ridiculous.
You missed it when we talked about the Angela Bettis version.
Uh-huh.
But I would like to see a remake of Carrie, even though I love Sissy Spacek, with the actress from the movie Piggy. I think she would
Really?
be fantastic.
I could. That would be
Wouldn't that
interesting.
great?
I'm a little tired of remakes in general, but I mean,
Yes.
if now let's
Right.
who would direct that, Jim?
Jim's
I
directing
don't-
it.
I don't have that answer at the moment. I would have to get back to you on that.
I'm afraid I would
I-
have to know.
I love Julianne
Don't say
Moore.
Guillermo del Toro because that wouldn't happen ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although
Yeah.
I agree.
Shape
She's
of
too-
Water.
She's too cute to be a Carrie, and seeing her in previous roles, it's just not her genre, I think.
I think
for
they
her best
accidentally
role.
cast her They
Fuck
accidentally
Del Toro,
cast
Rob
her as a
Zombie.
comedic role. Oh fuck!
That would be awesome, Matthew.
What now? What did I miss?
Rob Zombie's Carrie.
Rob Zombie
Fight me, asshole.
Carrie. Fuck,
No.
I would love that.
Oh,
Jeff,
Do it.
God, no.
Jeff, do not make me kick you out of this podcast.
Jeff,
Sherry
please.
Moon is Mrs.
Oh my
White.
god.
Sherry Moon's
Jeff, please.
comeback as Mrs. White, dude. How
Oh, I
badass would that
fucking
be?
You
hate
shut
you.
your whore
I
mouth,
hate
Matthew.
you, Matthew. I hate you right now.
Why? She could be like a little Piper Laurie. Piper Laurie's
No.
like a little hottie back in the
That
day.
woman
too.
should not
Sherry
be
Moon
on
could
screen.
be
She's
Carrie.
garbage.
No, she's too
She's
old.
garbage.
I don't
She's
know.
not
I was
garbage.
more
She's a
partial
human
to
being, man.
Eliza.
You may not like her, but she is a human being.
She is
She
a human
is-
being.
she
She
is-
just should not be acting on film.
She's the
I
She
enjoy her.
could be the one
love it.
collecting the votes.
You know what my favorite movie with Sherry Moon is? Anything
everyone
she's not in. Yeah. Everything she's not in.
You like a lot of movies.
Asshole.
she is in.
So, like that Slender Man movie they made. That's she's not in that. You really like that one, huh?
I have not seen that.
That
so-
is actually.
Wasn't
What were
she
we
in Tor-
talking
wasn't
about
It is a
again?
film,
Forrest
yes.
Gump?
I know, I'm
I
aware.
We're
I
lost.
refuse
Wait,
to
isn't
watch
that the
No.
Jessica Biel one?
I had a
Slender
comment
Man?
to make, but now I
Right?
forgot.
It was nice seeing
Maybe.
you guys. Nice talking with you. I hope you.
What, you were not?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
On,
Let,
wait a
let's-
minute. On
wait.
Carrie, I just want to say Julianne Moore would have been perfect, but just still
Nah.
doesn't hold a candle.
As
to
her
Piper Laurie.
mother, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
she's got a
So,
Piper
what
Laurie
I-
look to her.
Yeah,
Move
I can
along.
see
Quite a
that.
bit, yes.
What I was going to add is,
I love
it's
Julianne.
not like what
Moore's
everybody
fantastic
else had
anyway,
said. What I was going to add was pretty much close to what everybody else had said about, Chloe Grace Moretz not being the right choice for the role. But I just wonder, like, what goes through a producer's or casting director's mind when they think Carrie, outcast, weird girl, like somebody that has to be both sweet but a little bit kooky, and go like, hey, let's cast this absolutely stunning woman in that role, who's played
And
like
who-
really cool characters.
I'll
Who was
give you an
absolutely
example,
stunning again?
Carlos.
Chloe was great in Dark Shadows, which
So-
was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
mess.
she was.
So
But
it's like whenever they cast Ray Fiennes, who was great in the role in Red Dragon.
Hmm.
Like
I
he's
thought he did a good job. I
Right.
thought
No,
it
I
was
like
good.
it
Tom-
was amazing.
I like
in
Thomas
that.
Harris, but I thought
Yeah,
that
I
film was
loved it.
blowout.
Really
Bad.
liked it.
but he's supposed to
I'll
be
stick to his
No,
novels. Thank you.
he's a great actor.
Oh, he
Hands
is.
down.
But he's
That's
supposed to be.
Why are we
Everything
talking
he's
about
in,
him again?
he's phenomenal.
We went on to a Hannibal
because he
skit
was
for
in
some
the
reason.
Avengers.
I mean,
Baffling
honestly,
casting
no,
directions, I
nobody
guess.
could have played Voldemort like him. I'll tell you that, though. And Red Dragon was, I think, one of his best
hang on.
pieces.
Why are we on Harry Potter now?
What?
And that's a Stephen King adaptation for another time.
No, I'm not. I'm
He
not.
did write that. How come we didn't
talk
talk about
Harry
that?
Potter.
What?
I'm not saying that, but I'm agreeing with Mark that I think Red Dragon was one of his best pieces.
God, I
that
don't
whole-
even know if he was in Red Dragon.
No, yeah,
did.
but he didn't fit that outcast, like ugly character like Tom Noonan played it in Manhunter. He looks kind of crazy.
You're just one of those weird Manhunter fans. Who's like, yeah. And I'm kind of one of you. You know what I mean? I understand, but
I
that's
don't
a
even.
totally
the-
different fucking vibe, feeling, look, tone, like even everything. You know.
That
Sorry.
Michael.
So Red Dragon with the chick
Doesn't
from
work
Weeds.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but I get the point. They probably cast her thinking like, oh, she's really an amazing actress. She might be able to pull it off. And then they just kept her really freaking beautiful and just
She's too
stunning.
fucking cute.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
still
you're
wondering
like,
who you're talking about. You're saying amazing actress and really, really cute. Now, who is this
The-
again?
No.
Chloe Grace
No,
Moretz.
The
she's
girl from
not
Kick-Ass.
an amazing actress.
No, I know who you're talking about. I'm just.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I don't-
For me, she is.
Her
but-
name says it all.
I
So-
am with Cass on this one. I'm not a fan of
Chloe
Chloe.
Grace.
No,
I think she's forced. You know what though? No, and I know there are a couple of people on here who hate the remake or even the original Suspiria, but her German was actually very good in the opening scene. But other than that, I think she is a completely overrated actress, and I do not care for her one bit.
I did like her in Dark Shadows, but that was it.
So hang
Her
on.
role in War of the Worlds was all about screaming.
So hang on. It's like whenever in Hollywood they want to
Mhm.
make like an attractive person ugly, they put glasses on them.
Yeah.
And then
Whoa,
they take the
whoa,
glasses
check
off.
Is
and
that all it
go,
takes?
"Oh, they're
Let's
Yeah,
put a
no, no,
scar right here.
I'm a stunner all of a sudden.
Chloe
Right.
is a victim of circumstance. I think she's
Oh,
got
Carlos,
talent.
that's
They're
like
just
him.
screwing it up.
Carlos, take those glasses off, you sexy motherfucker.
Ooh,
Rawr.
Different.
sizzle.
Okay, Mark.
Okay, yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
Cass's drink is boiling.
Okay, we're up to number 66. Holy fuck.
How many have we got to go?
This is
We have to get to 83.
this is a
Jesus.
Simpsons episode. Might as well be. Under the Dome.
It was dog
I
shit.
started it
It was
and
dog
just
shit.
was like bored.
Yeah, it's boring. It's trite. There's nothing exciting in that show at all.
And here's one example. I've never read that book. I don't
Neither.
ever plan on reading it. I think I can live my entire life and die happily, never reading it,
Well,
or seeing the movie.
I mean, you have
Was
so
that a
far.
Richard
So
Bausch
what would
book?
change?
But to me,
Excuse
it was
me?
like it
What'd
was
you
like the
say?
Simpsons movie, right? Isn't
I-
it the same plot as the Simpsons movie?
That's what I was going to
Yes.
say.
Simpsons.
What?
The Simpsons.
Essentially,
Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jim?
I said you've already lived this much of your life happy, never having read it. So why would you
Right.
not be able to just continue that?
You are a philosopher.
Yeah.
That is an amazing point. Thank you, Jim.
Earl,
you
you're a
know-
life coach and inspiration.
I am. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Mark seating, Mark.
no, Jim.
Guide me, senpai.
Now we've taken a whole nother turn. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Is it Hattori Hanzo?
What?
Hattori
Is it
Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo?
Junji
It's-
Ito for another time.
Junji Ito. Love him.
I do too.
Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
We have 2014's A Good Marriage.
Never saw it. Didn't read
I
it.
actually have that in
Yeah.
my. I started watching it and didn't pursue it. It's kind of there. I'm gonna be watching it soon, I think.
I haven't seen it, but I plan to eventually.
Yeah, there's just a lot
I mean,
of
not,
that.
I
Unlike
don't.
Jeff, I don't ever plan on seeing this.
Yeah, same here.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would watch it. Maybe
Do
I'll
you
come
know
over to your
anything
house.
about
Tonight.
it?
What are you doing? Let's go watch it.
I have watched
It-
it. I think what
Oh,
saves
look,
it are
there's
the.
Mark. Hi, Mark.
Mark.
And here we were
I'm-
talking about sexiness, and look what shows
No,
up.
I'm sick.
Oh, I thought you were going
Is that a steal your
I gotta
feet?
get my mask on.
Hey, Mark, lick the mic.
What?
You know you want to.
Can't get my damn
Uh,
camera.
Come on, Bork.
No, no,
you have
can
to
we-
for that, King.
Okay, enough with the. Yeah, okay. So, Mark, what's
Yeah.
next?
Okay, what the fuck? We have the 2014 TV movie Big Driver.
Never heard of it.
I bought
Okay.
it and I love it and I can't remember it.
Olympia Dukakis is in it. That's about as much as I know about it.
Yeah. I remember like, oh, this is actually a really good movie.
A
So
fa-
I'll recommend it from that standpoint, but I have to watch it again.
I
A
remember
famous
I liked it. I just
great
don't know anything
writer
about it.
sets out for revenge after a brutal.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Mario
casting was
Kart.
excellent and it just really was a great movie. I
Okay.
believe it involves a woman who gets raped by a truck driver and she gets revenge. So it kind of, I believe, if I remember right, it vibed Last House on the Left for me.
Okay.
Except she wasn't killed. She was like going out. for
So it's more like
revenge.
I spit on your grave then.
Maybe. I still haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
We all love a good bit of rape and revenge movies, right?
Yeah.
You've never
And
seen
the
the
cast-
original I Spit on Your Grave, Jeff?
I
Thank
know.
God
It's
you added
another one.
and
So
It's
Jeff-
just weird. Well, it's another one that's going to be nostalgia. You're not going to
Hey,
be able
Jeff.
to see it back when you were little.
Yeah, I need to see it. It's
It's
somewhere.
classic.
Hey, Jeff. Let
It's
me.
a terrible
let me-
movie.
I
I'm go-
spit on your grave.
I'm gonna let you know, Jeff. I've not seen the original or the remake. So
The remake
Okay.
is fantastic, better than
The
way better than
is-
the original. It's
And part two,
insane.
though, either part three.
my,
Yeah,
mo-
part
my
two-
mother, my
I
mother
never
would
saw
not
part
allow
two
me to
either.
see that movie.
What are we
What?
talking about?
She's smart.
What, Jim?
I think he's moved past that at this point, Jim.
Yeah.
I know.
At this point, I have. but
Mommy
I've not-
says
I never
no.
picked it back up. I just never picked it back up. My mother would not
This
allow me to
one's
see it when I was
naughty.
younger.
I'm not watching
Is
it.
it a Last House on the Left kind of movie?
Yes, mother.
Generally watches
Yeah, it's a rape revenge
his
movie.
mom.
Jeffrey
Sorry,
Pruitt.
what,
He
Mark?
watched himself.
What'd you say, Mark?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
It said you only watch rape movies with your mom.
Clearly not, because I haven't seen this one.
This is a repetitive topic. I see. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're talking about the entity again, Kaz.
Oh God.
That's where this is going.
Cass, have you seen the entity yet?
Cass, what
No,
age
but
were you when you
she
watched
couldn't
the
breathe
entity?
last time we talked about it.
How about
Oh,
Death
God,
Wish?
what?
You ever watch Death Wish with Charles Bronson?
Oh yes.
Jeff
Cass,
Goldblum
if
raping
you need
away.
to see the entity, I will do a online view with you. If you
So
want.
I watched that
I have it.
Matthew with my father, who, funny
Nice.
story, was deaf.
You watched what with your father?
Death Wish.
Yeah. Gnarly rape scene, man.
He
Really
made me go
brutal.
see The
Death Wish,
Godfather
yeah.
3 in theaters too, which was weird because he was deaf. But anyway, I digress.
Jim, have you ever watched a rape scene without a family member?
Is this the bonus scene from the podcast?
Can we go on to the next one, please?
I'll take that as a no. Okay, number 69 is Mercy.
No idea.
Wait. I need to look that one up.
Mom and the two boys.
Fuck is
The
that?
grandmother with mystical powers.
Frances O'Connor. Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Don't know. Nobody.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm out. Never seen it.
Amateurs. Okay.
Have you, Mark?
It's one of my favorite flicks.
He's never
so
seen
then
it. He's
tell
just
us.
bullshitting. I'm just
Tell
saying.
us something
He's
about
full
it.
of shit right now, people.
I mean, the cinematography is just perfect in it. Anyway,
Mark, stop
Wait
lying.
a minute. I'm calling bullshit because you're
Yeah,
not,
you
like,
should. You absolutely should, Jeff, because this is straight up shit.
Don't
He's never seen
call
it.
us
He doesn't know.
amateurs
Okay,
if you haven't
but Mercy
fucking
is
seen
an
it.
adaptation of which Stephen King short story? It was
Yeah,
a short
Mark.
story, was it not? Okay, which one was it?
yeah, correct.
I know.
Yeah, moving on.
Tell us, Mark. Got him.
That is correct. Yes.
The
The
research that has been put into this is just fantastic. It's amazing.
Yes.
the
Must have
best
spent weeks.
Done lots of
best
homework.
boy in that movie and the grip were just outstanding.
I'm so
Okay.
glad I didn't prepare for this.
Number 70 is 2016 Cell with John Cusack, Samuel.
Wait, hang on.
I have
Really?
opinions.
Kaz, to answer your question, it's a take off the short story called Grandma.
Grandma. Okay,
That's what I
thank
thought.
you.
Right?
It was
yeah.
the
Wait a minute.
80s. It was 80s, right?
I think
Release?
so.
I
No,
think so
no,
as
no.
well.
You did
I mean, the
what
movie
we
was
talked
even
about
the
before.
Twilight Zone episode that we covered.
86.
Oh,
It was 86.
For those of us who are drinking,
It came
which
out of
one are you
Skeleton
talking
Crew.
about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But we talked
I-
about it because they made a short story out of it in the Twilight Zone.
Really?
Remember? You guys don't remember talking about it just
They
a week
did.
ago? It's really
The
good.
new
It's one of
Twilight-
the. It's an excellent episode.
Matthew, a week
Excuse me?
ago? A week ago? You think we can remember
Hold
that?
on.
Well, Kaz
What
wasn't
is
here a week
time?
ago, so
Well,
Yeah,
And
I'm-
that's what I
rescue
said to
me.
her. We talked.
in no way
yeah.
am I trying to make bring anybody into the realm of redundance. I'm just asking a fucking question, guys. I'm not sorry. This is what
She's
women
I
the
do.
only one who knew the
love
fucking right answer.
whoa.
so
Cass fucking nails it down. You know?
Yep. Okay. Anyway, what are we talking about, Mark?
Cell.
Yeah.
Number
We were
60.
talking about
Go to 70.
Cell.
Cell, never
Oh
seen-
yeah. So.
Never seen it.
So I do have a take on this one.
Okay.
Cell is one of those books by Stephen King. I'm not talking yet about the movie. That's one of those books by Stephen King that people hate on a lot, and I loved because I personally think his take on zombies is something that hasn't been done before, and it's very original.
This is a zombie movie?
It is. It's basically a zombie movie. So the whole idea is, at one point, this guy
Oh.
is walking down the street, and all of a sudden, there's this signal going through all cell phones.
Yeah.
Everybody who's on a
Yeah.
phone immediately starts killing everybody around them. And
I have seen this.
Oh.
yeah, and the whole idea is that they start evolving into like a higher being, and they start trying to turn other
Oh,
humans
no.
by placing a phone to their ear to turn them into them.
Mhm.
They actually develop like I don't know, like
Wow.
mind reading, telekinesis. They fly. They become all of these horrible. I mean, these cool things to the point in which the remaining humans are the ones seen as abnormal. You know,
Huh.
so I
Wow.
think Cell is a really great book, but the problem is the movie just kind of settles for it being a zombie flick, and it
Oh.
doesn't go deeper than that. And for me, that was
Gotcha.
a crime against the book, despite
Carlos,
the cast.
Carlos, was my memory of this novella was it was kind of
No, it's a full
advertised as
novel.
a digital platform, like it was going to be something different. Do you
No,
know about that?
it was released as like a normal book. I read it. I got it at the
Was
airport
it?
right when it came out,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
read it on the
it's a
airplane.
book. Yeah, it's just
I thought it was advertised, kind of like pushed as that way.
It's a fun read. It's very Stephen King.
yeah.
That
Okay.
Shane?
concept was borrowed for a film that was released recently, wasn't it? Something similar.
Where you
I
hear
mean,
a cell phone sound in your ear and it turns you into a monster.
I think it was a video, and they immediately had the urge to just maim and
So-
hew anybody that was close
It's
by.
it's a trope. You know,
Well,
you
there
see
was-
it a lot.
That's well, of course, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, we are in
There's
in
this
the
I mean,
smile,
there-
creepy
They did it with the
pasta.
Cyberman.
And Bird Box did that too, where you see these invisible
I mean, The
aliens, and all of a
Ring.
sudden you want to kill yourself.
right, of course.
Yeah.
Polls is
But,
one, but I
John
think this
Cusack
came out
makes me
before
interested.
all of those.
Right.
No.
I still wish the
Are
inquiry
you
were
sure?
intentionally sarcastic, but it wasn't.
The
It was-
Ring is pretty old.
Oh yeah, but the
Yeah.
Ring had nothing really to do with
Ring
you know.
Goo.
And Smile
That,
Dog,
it's-
the
it's
creepy
very-
pasta, that's pretty old.
Yeah, but
What year are we in now?
like what
2014.
actually
I remember
happens
getting
when you
that
watch
book
the
when it was
video of
brand
the
new.
Ring is very different, and I mean it's not within the zombie genre, to put it that way. But
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, I do know, way off base, but Doctor Who did it with Cyberman. People had the earphones plug into the ears, and then they turned into Cyberman. So clearly, I'm drunk now.
No, that's interesting.
that's
You're a
interesting.
total fucking nerd. Congratulations. You get the Nerd of the Year alert.
It is an
That is
excellent.
fantastic.
It's an excellent episode to see.
Mark, you look like you want to say something.
Nope.
Moving along.
Nope. Let's just move along because I think there's some more interesting ones to talk about too.
Mhm.
I have not seen this, but I hear it's very good.
It
It's
is.
11/22/63.
Yep.
About the
Nope.
JFK assassination, time travel, and stuff. I've heard it's very good, but I haven't seen it
It
or
is.
read it.
Did this book so much. It was getting hyped as Stephen King does literature and takes on Lee Harvey Oswald. And like I thought it was going to be a literal character study of Lee Harvey Oswald. It was
Yeah.
on NPR and shit. And they were like,
Wow.
I mean, it's just the way they were, and I got it, and it was just like this goofy Stephen King story that. So it ruined me for it because I know a lot of people love it, but it was not what I thought it was going to be, and it
I
made me
thought it was-
angry.
It's exactly what I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was really well done.
So, are we talking
So
about the
stupid.
book?
I hate Lee Harvey Oswald as being the senseless, mindless monster. He turns him into a Stephen King monster. He's a complicated character.
Oh, again, are we talking about the book or the adaptation?
I never saw the adaptation.
Yeah, he's talking about the book.
It just
I'm
this
talking
is
about
one of the
movie.
first times that Joe Hill and him worked together. Joe Hill pretty much wrote the ending.
Joe
Hill
Hill,
his son.
Paul
His son.
Mackin, Creep Show.
I know we talked about that last week.
Kat, what did you think? We can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Why? No, I haven't seen the adaptation. I enjoyed my one read through, but I was actually inquiring as to I thought Carpenter had something to do with the adaptation. Was that correct? Does anybody know?
I don't think
Not to my
so.
knowledge.
Wow.
That's the most I've got as far as cinema take.
That's a cool tidbit.
I'm
Wanna
not
know more.
sure. I that's what I thought.
I-
It's roaming
think-
around somewhere.
I think Carpenter was kind of like divorced from movie making during that time, so
Okay.
I don't think he had anything to do with it.
He might be moving money around, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
Mark.
collecting money from all the remakes and stuff, and he's like,
I mean, like
Yeah,
produced,
pretty much.
executive produced by. You know what I'm saying? Like it was somebody who's just.
Yes. I hate executive produced by.
well, they just put money in, see what they
It
can get.
sucks me in.
Okay, next one. I know this is a huge thing in like the Stephen King world of
Oh,
people that love
God.
Stephen King. This is the Matthew McConaughey vehicle, The Dark
Nope.
Tower.
Greatest
It
film
was-
ever made.
It was such a theatrical abortion.
Just kidding.
I like the Dark
And
Tower
my
series a
friend
lot.
gave me the first
Not-
books,
not
and
the-
haven't read any or seen any.
I like
Sorry.
the books.
I love the books.
I do too. But
So-
I watched one bit of their film adaptation, and I was so incredibly disappointed because
Uh-huh.
it just felt so forced.
Well, because they try to condense the first 3 books into one movie.
Horribly.
And they didn't kill Jake.
They had
Spoiler.
one job.
I read
It's
the
another-
first 4 books,
So
and then I left my parents' house and became a normal person.
I hated the books. If I'm being perfectly honest, I tried to read the books
that
as I
was
was
gaming
growing
for
up
me, but
and hated them. But the audiobooks I ripped through in like 2 weeks.
I hated Talisman, so
Oh, I love the
Oh,
Talisman.
Talisman was
Peter
fantastic.
Straub.
that's actually I'm really surprised to hear that, Jeff.
Love it.
I haven't read the books because I guess probably it's because of the concept around the books that ultimately they end up kind of connecting like Stephen King's universe throughout the
They
books.
define it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't read them all, but from what I understand, they define it. Like you
Yeah,
know what I mean? It
it's
all
his
circles
magnum
around
opus.
them.
Yeah, but for me, for some reason, just knowing that, if I hadn't known that, I would have probably read them and enjoyed them. But just knowing that
It's like
tidbit,
Jeff talking about Doctor Who. You're like, yeah.
for me,
We all
it was a
before,
little
but
bit
we don't want
like,
to talk about it.
for me, it was like Stephen King just kind of jerking off on you know on his fame. Like, oh, I'm this famous, I can write a made a book about my books, you know, and that kind of pushed me away. They might be wonderful, but because of that, I haven't read them. I did watch the movie. I thought it was shit. But
I will say I
felt
think
that way
I
about
think
that floating dragon.
I will say that I think that
Peter
Idris
Straub.
Elba could be a fantastic
Yes.
Roland if he's given the right movie or series.
Whom? What?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Mhm.
He was
He's phenomenal.
Carlos. You
Game?
seem to be one of the most together individuals in
Yes.
this.
That's not
What did you
difficult.
think?
No, unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with this one. I mean, Idris Elba is one of my favorite actors, but I'm not too familiar with this piece.
There's pictures in the book. You like it?
Okay.
I wouldn't dismiss watching it someday, but
So
It's-
the next one to talk about is the most successful horror movie as far as box office ever made. What is it?
It chapter
What?
1.
It Chapter 1.
fuck
So
no.
I have a question. Are we talking
Didn't
about
know.
are we talking about the first one and the second one separately, or are we talking
Yes.
about
Yeah.
them as a single unit?
Definitely separately.
Okay.
Separately.
All right.
Absolute classic.
Originals.
I saw it in the movie theater. Everyone I know saw it in the movie theater. I thought it was, some people had issues like here and there with it, but I think everyone agrees it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not
It is.
bad. And I actually thought it was fantastic. And I had my son with me. He was little at the time. I can't remember how old he was, but it scared the fuck out of him.
He
I
was
mean, it
37.
fucking
Good.
freaked him the
Did his
fuck
job.
out, dude. Yeah. We're at a point where
That's
he was almost
wonderful.
wanted to leave. And I was like, you just
Oh.
you have to just cover up your eyes and shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. That's definitely a
plus
classic.
parent.
Stand by me on acid. I loved it.
Ah, that's
And-
I like
nice.
that.
And like Skarsgård's performance as Pennywise.
No.
Really?
No.
No,
You're gonna
No.
say no?
I
Why?
hated it. Well, I rewatched it after I saw it in the theater. I was so disappointed. I saw it in the theater. I was excited because Stephen King, and I love the original adaptation, and I love the original, cinema. And I went in. I couldn't stand it. I rewatched it, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit more. I'm not sure if it was because of the influence I was currently under or not, but it was great. The second one, part two, I spit on it, but
It's not the best. It's
no, I mean, I gave it credit where it was due.
But
But still, I revert back to
but
my
hang,
moments
Didn't
for
we just talk
hang,
part one
hang,
and two
hang,
in this same one
what's
hang on.
Mark?
chat?
Is that more about the story or the movies? Because a lot of people, whenever you look at the original like TV movie,
Mhm.
they like the first part and they don't like the second part
So
because the adult stuff is less interesting than the kid stuff.
I
Right.
So
think
is it more of a story issue or is it more of a how they made the movie?
that's part of why I was asking because I mean in the book you jump back and forth between both
Right.
time periods, and it's like what's happening to the kids informs what's happening to them as adults, so it feels very
Yeah.
integrated. But in
Yeah.
the movies, when you look at the way they did it, like first the kids and then the adults, they had to find ways to fill out to fill up the spaces in between because they weren't really getting something really engaging out of the adults, because the part of the adults is only there to complement the kid scenes
Yeah.
and then to give an ending, but
Right.
by itself
I
it's boring.
I kind of feel like as an adult, right? If you're a kid, you're going to get more scared than if you're an
Yes.
adult,
Yes.
right? And so I think that's reflected in the story and the movies. Like I really like it, part two, and I like the whole of the TV movie. But I think it's just generally accepted that like the kid part is more.
Yeah.
You can feel it more because they are kids
Right.
and like, things happening to like little kids. You know, they're like, oh my god, and bullies and stuff. Like you don't get that bullying stuff like they bring back. What's
There's
his name?
also there's also the fact, and for me this is key, this is like the important thing about it, is that when you watch the kids part of the movie and you get the resolution of how they beat Pennywise, that kind of
Gotcha.
steals the strength of everything that happens with them as adults, because
Right.
you already know that all they need to do is not give in to fear, because they should know all of that is fake, because of how the first movie ended. When you're
No,
reading the
Pennywise should have
book,
killed them all. It's stupid, man. Well, how the fuck they
and,
beat
and
him?
when
That's
and when the
ridiculous. It would have been so much better. Like, we're changing the ending, dude. He's actually gonna wipe everybody fucking out and then go into hibernation, and you'll see him again in 7 years. Just the way
Hey,
it is.
Yeah,
Rugmire,
but
stop
because
making valid points here.
yeah, because the thing is, if you read the book, you don't know how they beat him as a kid until you get to the very end, and you get how they beat him as kids, and then how they beat him as adults at the end of the
Right.
book.
But
In the
but
movie, they
Magic,
already beat him
baby.
once, so it's like,
but
why are we
How
doing
did
this
the
again?
book differ?
but
How
but
did the book differ?
well,
Mark, I don't think
Pedophilia.
raising your hand is working.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
no, just real quick, the internal logic, even of the book and the movie, where Pennywise is trying to like frighten these kids, doesn't really work when he just like eats Georgie and stuff, and he's not like.
No, they
You
formed a beam to form.
know,
What's the name of the turtle?
well,
You get the
that's
Turtle.
intergalactic turtle. Bring
No, I don't
his
remember.
fucking ass in there,
Well,
dude. That's what you do.
exactly
And there's
right.
only one way to
We're
do
reading
it,
the
too.
book.
But I do have to say
You
about
have
the
to have an
movie,
orgy.
right? About the newer movie. I do want to say that I think that they did a much better job conveying the terror that Pennywise tried to inflict on the adults than they did in the original 90s
Yeah,
series.
that's true.
I always think
Oh,
as
well,
an
yeah. I mean, yeah.
adult going in there, like you can go buy fucking like it's the U.S. You can go buy fucking assault rifles and stuff. Just go buy those and you know, like
Yeah, and then
What?
what good does that do? Because it's all imaginary
Just-
anyway.
Into the movie theater? What are you talking about, Florida?
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
I'm just gonna look like Cassandra for a while.
Yeah, please do.
If there were when we get into adulthood after we've grown through and grown past all of these moments where we're so vulnerable when it comes to primal fear, and we think that everything our security is just becoming level. We have our ducks in order. Fuck duck. And all of a sudden
Duck it,
it's
duck.
challenged again, and we're reminded of this this vulnerability and primal fear all over again. I mean, that in itself, I mean, does that not just shake us to the core to the point where you don't know what to do? And that brought about that suicide, correct? I mean,
Yep.
they didn't want to
Yeah.
re-experience those
Yep.
types of moments. So I mean, you never know. I mean,
That's like
I
the
mean,
PTSD.
we've all
kind
I
had
get
those,
that way when I can't pay my bills.
They had
So,
amnesia. They
Right.
couldn't remember it.
right.
but even still, I mean, we've all had those situations, and we're all of a certain age where
Of course.
we've gone
Like,
exactly back
Except
to
for me.
it. Right. We've all gone exactly back to that scared little kid that when we first experienced it growing up. We've all had that experience. That's not new.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the genius of the book, is that Stephen King was fantastic at bringing both of those points back around. You're still vulnerable as an adult, whether you choose to admit it or not.
It grew with the
I-
audience, and
I
therefore,
It
being
was
reminded that he is a king at relatability.
So I
Yeah.
think
I was kind of cautioned against reading it
well done,
by a
guys.
friend. She said, well, it's a good book, but it's kind of like it's classic King, referring to like the gore parts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
But it was when he wrote it, because it was like
love,
when he came up with the idea, he wasn't as Uncle Steve yet,
exactly.
and he
yeah,
and it was mind-boggling. I
exactly.
remember reading the first pressing, first edition. I was in 7th grade, and I was so fucking into it, man.
How
Oh
many
my
See, and I
god,
pages is
prefer
that
classic
thing? I
King.
still haven't
it's a
read
big
it.
old book, dude. It's like
It's
800
Yeah,
probably.
it is. One of the
It's
first King
I
books I ever read.
remember from both versions. What I dislike about both versions is the finale with the spider-like alien thing. I'm like, oh fuck, come on, can't you do something different?
Well,
But I think
So-
I think the newer version
Have 'em
did
kill
the,
'em
did
all.
the ending better. I
And
think.
rape their corpses. That's what he should have done.
Mark, Matthew.
Well,
But they make
no,
Let's
Matthew.
be realistic. If you were
You do
a
it.
clown in the sewer, are you not going to rape their corpses? Come on, Jim.
Rob Zombie this
I'm not
movie.
raping
Fuck
corpses, Matthew.
Fuck with Rob Zombie already, please.
They all
Please.
float down here. You know what that
So-
means
So what I was
in the gay world?
Why are they all hanging around up above when he could just fucking chomp
It's a
them
big
all
old
down?
glory hole, dog.
Hey, Mark, what's next?
so
Uh,
I was just gonna say because I
think
do.
you
Oh,
nailed
hang
it.
on.
You know, please.
Matt
I'm
Carlos?
literally begging
Yes.
you because I do need to leave, like now.
Okay.
Oh,
So because I do need to go. But what I was going to say in response to Kaz was that yes, as adults we are vulnerable to that, and the moment I see a creepy clown, in the street, I shit myself. So yes. But I think the
I love
issue in
Pictures
both
or it didn't happen, please.
it might have already happened. But if you look at both adaptations of it, the issue remains the same. The fact that the kids defeated Pennywise when they were kids, and you as a viewer, you already know the trick. You already know what they need to do. So going into the second half, it kind of detracts from it. While in the book,
okay.
you get
Well-
that resolution at the end. It's different. The ending is different,
Yeah.
but you get both resolutions
Right.
at the end, so you don't know
But-
how they
but
beat
I-
him as kids.
But as adults, Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah, but it's
You know what I mean?
because they made the two, because they were like, we're going to make part 1 and see how it does, and then make part 2.
Yeah.
And because of that, he couldn't take the 2 parts and edit them all together like they should
Right.
have been.
Yeah.
You could almost take the 2 and edit them together into the narrative structure that Carlos is talking about and
Yeah.
come up with a
Right.
better film.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a structure issue, and in fact, they had said that the director had asked to do like a definitive edition, like kind of blending both together, like a re-edit.
Yeah.
If they ever
right.
did that, that would be one hell of a powerhouse of a movie.
but I think the movies
Agree.
probably ignored the whole metaphysical turtle and Pennywise, because it's hard to put on film, that stuff. And the
Yeah.
the tube thing that they tried to do, which didn't work, and it was just a big balloon. just turned into a big spider and stuff, because it's hard to have like him pulling his tongue out and that means something, and there's no
Flicking
narrative and all
spider.
that sort of thing. But I think the movies did what they could do, and so did the TV series. I think neither of them have a great ending, but
True.
you know, Stephen
Yeah.
King's in there, and in part 2, they're all talking about, hey, Stephen King Avatar character, you can't write a good ending, and everybody laughs about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Stephen King has always
can
been
we
about
all
the
try a
journey instead of the
siren
ending.
song?
That's always been my way of looking at it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
Yeah.
with
Can
When
that,
we
the
all
ending's
try
just
I,
there, like,
I do have to go. So
Okay,
It
Can we
was to you,
Thank you,
Carlos.
Carlos.
song to try and keep Carlos in the song?
we only have
Sing along.
Yeah, no, I don't sing.
Nobody's
Sorry.
singing with me.
Bye, Carlos.
bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Enjoy. Thank you.
it's like 10 little Indians, right?
Yeah,
Where
right.
did Shane go?
He just,
That's
I
a-
think he
that's
closed
a
out
good
the
one.
app and just never came back again.
Kind of liked having two marks in here.
Hand them, Mark.
So what's next, Mark?
Like skid mark.
Ah,
Okay, we have the mist.
my vision is blurring.
We have
The
the
Mist
mist.
TV show.
Right.
I
Yeah.
gave up on it after 3 episodes.
They made a TV show.
Yes,
Yep.
they did for TNT.
Yes.
I am so far behind when it comes to television. I
Yep. I don't watch.
I think I got
post
to
post
Jim's-
98.
Who, I forget who played the crazy lady.
Your mom,
God, I
Shut
don't know.
up,
Jesus
you
Christ.
dick.
Alyssa Sutherland,
Matthew, did you see it?
Danica
I
Curry,
never saw it.
Morgan
Jim, I think
Spector?
I was like with you. I might have got to the third, and it was
Yeah,
kinda
I just
pointless.
Francis
It wasn't
Conroy.
horrible, but it was just like pointless.
It was just, it got boring. They put too much drama into it,
yeah.
so that
Oh.
it really detracted from the horror of the story. And it was Francis Conroy that played the religious nut this time,
Who
and
is perfect?
she's
to play
fantastic.
that.
I love everything
Yeah.
she does.
As
but
a
I just
Death
got bored
Angel
with the
on
series.
AM AHS.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look who's back!
What? Oh,
What?
Shane's back.
Yeah, my phone
Hi,
had died.
Shane.
I'm so sorry. My phone had died. I had to charge it. That's my
very
bad.
unprofessional.
Don't make fun
I'm
of the most
sorry.
We're
unprofessional person.
professionals here.
That was a noob mistake.
And as Shane comes back, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So
Thanks for
Shane,
sharing.
don't let
I'm
that
gonna go to
bother
the
you.
bathroom or whatever.
Okay, we're gonna continue without you, Mark.
Whatever.
Let's see, we did it. So we're on the Mist
He's
TV. We're on Gerald.
Completely uninterested at this point.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like it.
Oh,
Don't we have some good movies coming up or not? No.
Not
What
really.
the heck is
No.
that camera on?
What?
well, I'm sorry that I missed the last episode because I'd really love to know what you all
Someone's
had talked
closet?
about. But in no way am I may bring this up because I'd like a recap. Unless
It'll be out. It'll be out tomorrow, probably.
I mean, yeah, it goes like Carrie, The Shining, Salem's
Great.
Lot. You know what I mean? It's
Great.
like to Christine, Pet Cemetery.
Great.
It's just like, yeah.
Obvious. Yeah. Did you guys talk
I mean,
about Total
I think
Recall?
there's some heavy editing in here.
Cool.
We talked
Nice.
about every one of them. Every
Jeff,
single one of them.
I don't edit
Shit I've
for
never heard
content
of.
generally.
Did you know Stephen
I
King
need
wrote
it.
in X-Files?
Did I say it again?
Stephen
What?
King wrote in X-Files.
What?
Which one?
Yes, I had no idea either. I'm like, bullshit,
Wait,
he did.
all right,
And they're like,
let me get
yeah,
my
we got
browser up.
everybody
Hold on
looked
one
it all
second.
up and shit. And you're like, yeah, dude, Stephen King wrote in X-Files. Wow.
Which one?
Oh, he
don't
told me
remember.
I was gonna go watch it.
Chinga.
You
Hold on.
can't say that and not tell us.
Yeah,
what you want.
Chinga or something like that.
Okay, I'm looking.
No, I
I didn't
thought it
know
was-
this. Oh, that was him
Yep.
Which one?
with the doll. And
Huh?
just pull your fucking browser up, Jeff.
I don't want to. I'm very impeded with my alcoholism right now.
No
I don't
kidding.
drink on these things anymore.
I need a
seriously.
refresher, actually.
We ruined that for you, huh,
I'm
Matthew?
sipping a
Yeah.
very light and unmedicated wine.
more.
So
I've
More.
had 3 Trulies
I've
so
got my
far, and I'm
chalice.
still doing okay.
Nice. I just
I'm
get
at
real
the
thirsty.
bottom of mine.
that's good to know. I mean, I do love a good.
That he's thirsty?
Yes, Jeff. That's exactly what I was referring to. Thank you.
So
Where
We'll
did
ask you
Mark
the same,
go?
Kaz. We'll ask you the same question I asked everybody else at the start of this podcast. If a gay man tells you that they're watching a lumberjack split wood, what do you think they're talking about?
A lumberjack splitting wood.
Yeah, Mark thought it was gay
I
code
don't-
for something.
I don't remember the
Well,
question.
let me ask you this, Jim. Is it gay code for something?
It's not. No,
I mean,
I
I
was watching Thor and Bradley split
Why are
wood.
you fucking flirting? Why are you bringing it up, man? We want to hear
What?
the deets, dude. Come on.
What are we talking about?
I want to hear some
There-
gay code for fucked up shit.
Yeah, there's no code in this.
What about
specific-
what's
Is this
like
a
a
break
dirty
for me to refill
Sanchez?
my cocktail?
Okay, Jeff.
Oh my god! I just stood up.
And he promptly fell down.
hey, Jeff, I think your mute is on. Check your mute.
My mute is on. Can't you hear me?
I know
You're
I can hear
mute.
you just fine. Are
Yeah,
you fucking with him?
they can hear
Matthew,
me.
don't
Yes,
ruin this for
shut
her.
up.
Don't start that, Cassandra.
Fuck you. You know I'll do anything I can.
I'm in the kitchen now. I'm stumbling towards the fridge and the ice. Oh my
Yeah, we've been
god!
going for 3 hours, man.
No kidding.
2 hours and 30
And
minutes.
I'm
How's it been going?
online, so if you want to continue, I'm here.
Yeah, apologies for coming in
That
late,
was
guys. I appreciate
17:20, but 2 hours and 30 minutes isn't 3 hours.
What? Oh,
Will you shut up?
it sounded like marijuana or something. I was like,
Mark, you ready?
I'm always ready when I'm here.
Well, you haven't been ready yet, so let's go.
yeah. Fuck you, Mark.
So next up, 2017's Gerald game, Mike Flanagan.
I still haven't fucking watched all of
Wait.
that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say the
that's
same
a
thing
great
I've-
game,
Or
great
what?
movie, classic.
No,
Classic.
garbage. It is fucking garbage.
Really?
Absolutely love it. Great
No,
movie.
it's
I
terrible.
love Carla.
They took out so much of the horror that is present in the book that it's just
Yeah.
not even worth watching. Like the whole
They're
degloving scene where she has to watch the pets rip into her husband as he's dead on the floor. Like it was so not horrific to me watching it on the screen.
Oh, that was a Mike Flanagan
Okay,
thing.
I'll take
wasn't
that.
So Jimbo, was it brutal enough for you?
It was not
Fuck
brutal
no.
enough for me.
It's never brutal enough for Cass.
Oh,
There
Kaz
goes all
knows
my
the
Okay,
Um,
so I really love the novel. I do. I think it's
Yeah,
it's,
I
it's-
agree.
It's easily one of my top 10.
Yeah.
But I have not seen the adaptation. So, and now that Jim said something about how it was
So
lacking
you know what my
in
biggest
horror,
issue
I'm
with
going to watch it.
Do you know what my biggest issue with it, Kaz, was Mr. Moonlight.
Really,
They did such a terrible job portraying him on film.
I'm fine with
it?
spoilers.
This
Go.
is sounding like Dr. Sleep.
So
But we're
Don't
talking
get me
about
started on
Gerald
Dr.
Flanagan.
Sleep, Jeff. We're gonna have words when we get to that one.
We're-
I know, but wasn't this a Mike Flanagan?
It wasn't
Yes.
like Flanagan.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, it was.
Yes.
so
That's why I say that.
I've heard.
Yep. Yep.
I pretty much
Yes,
like
I
this.
am.
Apart from the end when they had that guy, I'm like, who the fuck is he? Why is he here?
he was a much bigger part of the book. That's my point.
Right, but like the adaptation, he just kind of shows up at the end. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
who the fuck's this?
Yep.
But I liked all this stuff before it,
Nah.
and I
Well,
like
you have no taste, and we know that.
sort of stuff. But
Yeah, it's meh for me.
it's
I'm gonna
just like a
soundbite that.
weird turn. I'm like,
Come on, Jim. He has some taste.
No.
just let Jim have his little
Okay.
wins every now and then because
Shane's
that's all
coming.
he's gotten.
Shane, what did you think of Gerald's game?
I didn't see that one. That's actually is that one I should put on my list?
No.
Yeah,
So have you guys? So are you guys? Is
What?
everybody familiar with Dolores Claiborne?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love
Again,
Dolores
garbage.
Claiborne.
Garbage film.
Okay.
What?
Well,
The
How
book
about
was
the movie?
amazing.
okay, great.
The-
Because
the book-
they're like
yeah.
this. So okay.
The book I liked. The I did not like the movie at all.
Fuck you.
I mean, they have
Love
been.
you too,
they have
Jeff.
been.
Love you too.
They have been blowing it on the big screen for quite some time. We know this. So we take things as they come, and we pick
Yes.
out what we enjoy, and we enjoy our moment of nostalgia. And we've always
Yeah.
gone into film adaptations and known that they were going to leave certain things out that we wish would be in, and they're trying to capture an audience in a shorter period of time where we're not going to flip back the pages. We're just going to dive right in. So, and they go in assuming that 99.9% of the viewers have not read a goddamn thing because,
It's true.
what's the English word these days, right? So,
Right.
Can
I tell? Can I give you a wish list? There's one book that I wish that they would adapt that I have not seen yet.
love to hear it.
Rose Madder.
Really?
Never read it.
Yeah, I absolutely adored that book.
I thought they made an adaptation.
Not yet.
Again, a request a potluck of directors. I'd like to hear that.
But you know,
that'd have to be a future conversation because I don't have one off the top of my head.
But here's the thing, right? They're different media, right? I mean, a book is not the same as a movie, even if it's based on a book, right? I mean,
that's true.
It's to do different things. If you make a comic about something or a musical, I don't know, some sort of generic opera.
Genetic.
You fucking hater.
I know. But what I'm saying is, different things are supposed to be different as far as how you consume them, right? Whether it's an audiobook, a book, a play, a movie, a TV series, whatever. So it doesn't always have to be one for one or one's better necessarily. They can both be good, right? Or multiple things can be good based on the same thing.
Yeah.
But you just have to appreciate that it's going to be different.
Right. And then the individual takeaways, while we're consuming them page by page, it could also be different. I mean, our bits of enjoyment are subjective at that point, but still.
Yep.
I mean, you could let's talk about, for instance, Misery. Both the book and the movie are fantastic. There are huge differences and huge variations, but they're taken independently. They're both very good.
Right.
Anyway,
but I think some people sometimes, and it's natural. You're like, I read the book. And the movie I saw after I read the book, and it's terrible compared to the book. But maybe it should just be looked at.
Why are we bringing up Phantoms again?
You know what book's really popular,
What?
man? Is I think Jim, have you read this, Lords of Salem? It's super popular.
Will you bite me?
I'm serious. That is like a cult following. Do you know that?
Well, I don't disagree that the book might be good. The book maybe. Right. I have not read it. But I tried to watch the movie, and it is another theatrical abortion with Sherry Moon.
So
it's a 70s the book.
So Jim, like a TV series can be great, right? Like the Monsters. But then you put it into a movie like Rob Zombie's The Monsters,
and it blows balls.
And it turns way better. It's amazing.
You fucking loved it, Mark.
I hate you people. I hate you people. I will cut you out of here right now. Keep it up.
10 out of 10.
Anyway, next.
Some people are going to need anger management after this. It's okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Bill Skarsgård in
Castle Rock.
Yeah. Never seen it.
Okay.
I'm tired of his fucking name.
I watched the first 2 seasons and I loved it, and then they got into the whole Bill Skarsgård thing, and it got really boring really quick.
Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah.
I watched the first season. It was fun.
Is it?
I thought it was fun. I liked it. I would have kept watching. I just kind of then the second season came out, and it was just like other shit to watch. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just like,
yep.
It took so long between seasons.
Yeah,
it legitimately took like 2 or 3 years between the first and second season. It was ridiculous.
Okay, so how are we rating it?
It's just okay.
Asking me to speak now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No.
You skipped me because I'm drunk. So I hated season 1. I'm the opposite.
Shut up, Jeff.
I hated season 1. I was like, what the fuck? Where's the show? I don't get it. Season 2, I absolutely love.
How did you hate Sissy Spacek?
No, I love Sissy Spacek, but I was like, they abused her.
You want to hear something funny? My wife was talking to this guy at where she works.
Was it Sissy Spacek?
He's all like, "Oh, I'm watching that show Castle Rock," and she's like, "Oh, you like Stephen King?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't really read him." And she's like, "You know, it's a Stephen King world." He's like, "What?" He had no fucking idea that it was based on Stephen King ideas and stories.
Wow.
Even though at the beginning of every episode it says based on Stephen King's work, right?
That happens. It happens more often than I think a lot of us are comfortable with.
I agree.
By not talking about season 2.
Because they probably just hit fast forward on the thing. No, it's an option. It goes,
oh my God.
Skip intro.
Yeah,
I've only seen season 1, and I actually really enjoyed it a lot.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Season 2, we had. Oh, this is horrible. I'm gonna say what's her name, playing
Annie Wilkes.
Yeah, Annie.
Yeah.
And I
hated
like 2 or 3 episodes, I thought she was imagining her daughter.
Lizzie Kaplan. That's who it was.
And yeah, I like
Lizzie. her. I do too. I did not like that they brought Annie Wilkes into that storyline though.
And I just loved it. And I love that they tied it into Jerusalem's Lot. It didn't really make sense, but I just rolled with it. So I bought that season. It's in my collection. Season 1, though, I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, I loved season 1.
I'll end with that, so I won't belabor this point. So,
Shane?
I have no input on this one. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it.
Well, Shane, you probably haven't watched that, but I'm sure you've watched Mr. Mercedes. So what do you think about that show?
That I haven't seen either.
I fucking hated that book.
I
hated it.
I threw the book in the garbage after the first chapter, and then I watched one episode of the show.
Hang on.
I had a rally and we got piles of them and burned them and danced around them naked.
We don't burn books here, Matt.
Hang on,
no,
Jim.
But we do dance naked.
We just give them to poor people who don't understand what good literature is.
Put them in the trash.
No, Jim, you bought a book.
I bought several.
You started reading it, and then after the first chapter, you were like, "Fuck this," and you threw it in the garbage.
Pretty much.
I pressed play, and I didn't like it.
That's
like.
Okay.
Listen, it's not unknown.
I'm kidding.
I will say I was reading Cold Fire by Dean Koontz, and I got so pissed off with the book I threw it out of a moving car.
Wow.
Emotional.
I've had people tell me I really need to watch Mr. Mercedes. That's right up my alley.
I did not enjoy it at all.
Matthew, I won't tell you what Jim's done to your books.
What?
Matthew's book is still on my bookshelf. I have not had a chance to read it yet.
Yeah.
Matthew,
I'll tell you the truth after we start recording.
Oh.
I have your books on a special place, Matthew.
He may have.
A reaction is a reaction, regardless of what type of reaction.
Exactly.
It is, I don't think
reaction come after you read
it. Matthew, let me. You've seen the stuff that I put online. So, had I finished your book, I clearly would have reviewed it, and I have not yet. So,
what?
You know better than whatever shit Mark.
Jim is a book reviewer.
You know it's
weird.
The
reading or the reviewing?
So just like Gerald's Game, the next one is a Netflix adaptation with Thomas Jane having a really weird accent in 1922.
Yeah, I did not get into this. 1922, Jeff.
Classic. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was one of his best adaptations. I thought it was so amazing.
Totally throws me. I don't know what that is.
What?
Matthew,
cool,
I don't think I believe
cool
you.
Short story. No, I love the short story, and I thought they did a great job. And it was creepy, and it was scary, and it was rats, and it was a cool, thrilling story, and it's great. I don't know why don't you like it? What's your problem with it?
I don't have a problem with it. I never gave it a chance. So.
Not remarkable.
Well, it's really good.
I'm just a natural born hater.
What is it anyway? Why should I watch it?
Because it's really well made and it's a great story.
It's scary and it's got rats. He just said that.
It's a delightful slow burn. Jeff, I think you might actually enjoy it.
All right. I did watch 1480.
I thought it took too long to get to where it was going to.
It is just like a short story, and it turned it into a movie, But
as I just said, it's a slow burn, but you know. And you either invested it or not.
Shane?
I loved it.
I agree. It was a little bit dragged, but visually and the story, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was a little bit slow for my taste, but the whole make of the movie, especially with the whole Thomas Jane, it's a little bit out of his persona, if you will, but he did a good job in that movie.
Did you not watch The Expanse? It's almost the exact same character.
No, no, I did not watch The Expanse. No.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, now that I know that, I definitely will. But it's I had speculations going into it, thinking that I knew it was going to be a slow film. However, I had expectations that it led up to. I mean, it kind of kept you guessing.
I'll give you a little spoiler for The Expanse, Shane, since you haven't seen it yet. He's only in the first season, and then he's like a Force ghost for the rest of it.
Spoiler.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. Okay, we kind of talked about this before. It's chapter 2.
We did.
Do we need to talk about chapter 2?
We already did.
So what I will say is, I think the casting of the adults is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really think they are the adult versions of those kids.
I agree.
Have you never seen a movie before, Mark?
And no, what's the movie?
I mean, it's generally they're not the same people. I'm just point of
I
fact.
didn't say they were the same people, you idiot.
You just said you believe that they are.
Oh,
He's on, Jim.
Horrible, buddy.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
irony.
Put your hard cider down and go.
It's hard seltzer, sir.
Look,
Hard
Let's see
seltzer.
it happen.
for fuck's sake. See what I have to put up with?
Yeah.
My God.
Did
Anyway,
it have an aerosol top on it? What was
Completely,
that?
literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely.
You have characters that are literally in the story earlier, so they have to be in the later story.
Hey, Jim, this movie will blow your mind. Jim's like, no, get it away from me.
Jim, quit rolling your eyes.
Uh-huh.
we won't even get into Jim's backstory. But
Oh, Jesus.
Again, Mark.
It's the continuing
Every
cast
fucking
of the
episode.
Goonies.
Every episode.
It says a lot about everything.
Those buildings are so large because giants.
But
built
yeah,
them.
I mean, another really good movie, not as good as the first.
Yeah, not as good as the first. I agree. Nowhere near as good as the first, but it was all right. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was okay.
It was definitely meh. I say meh, but
Like, okay, theatrical releases, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
But
I think Thomas was right. I think if they
hardcore
edited them
Tim
together,
Curry.
it'd be fucking amazing.
I'm still hardcore miniseries Tim Curry. That's the
I
bottom
agree.
line.
I'm with you on that, Jeff. Shane?
Yes, sir.
it's chapter 2.
Get with the
It's
program,
I
Shane.
think honestly, I
Wait,
no,
way to
I-
be dialed into the podcast there, Shane.
No, I appreciate it. I agree with Mark. I really do feel like a lot of those characters were tied in with their kid counterparts. As much as it stays true to the book, I'm not sure. I just know that there was a little bit of eeriness that did stay somewhat true. Especially with the dance and the showing the spider part of him and this, that, and the other. So
Here's what I think.
Shane.
I kind of feel they bloated this out a little bit with them going to do their own little side quest to get their little tokens to come back, which isn't in the book, I don't believe. But I think some of the humor is great in this one, like especially when they're in like they first meet in the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And then the things come out beating the table with the chair, and you're like, "Check, please." And then the
I thought
kids
that was stupid. I hate it when they do that. I think it ruins the tension.
No, then the kid says like to the Richie like something, and he's like, "You fucking what? What?" And he's like, "It's just a line from your show, dude." I don't know.
It's like they took a moment after we were already supposed to be familiar with the characters to revisit and revisit and revisit the characters, and it drew it out so incredibly long that it did kind of make that tension dissipate at an alarming rate. But
Right. So that scene was supposed to convey them and their first experience back in this town where they're supposed to get terrified again by this same beast, the same creature that terrified them as children. But instead, it just turned into a giant mess.
Well, no, I mean,
but how many times?
Problematic problem with the original story.
I think they did the balance of horror and comedy pretty well. I think what they could have done is reduce the movie to like 2 hours. It didn't need to be 2.5 hours.
Well, so
Like, I
my
think
whole
they-
question is it always went
I
after the kids?
Money.
Why is it that he went after the older counterparts?
Well, he was mad that they defeated him in the first place.
Right.
First
And
time
I-
around. So it was his revenge.
Same with Freddy Krueger.
I want to see the baby eating scene.
Why does he care
I
about
want them to
teenagers? He
film the
likes
baby.
children.
I love that, Jim.
I want them to film the baby eating scene. I want to see that.
Yeah, because that's your weird
Sure,
thing.
you do.
Mm-hmm.
I can make that happen.
Could you?
Here's
Could
the
you do that for me?
line. This is all about placating a shitty spider scene at the end of the novel. It just doesn't work.
It's all a bunch of craziness.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the book and the movie and everything. Just when you see this, like, oh well, Pennywise is supposed to be this like eater of worlds, and then he just gets defeated by like people saying,
Yeah.
oh, "You're just a fucking full of shit, dude."
It was the turtle. It was the turtle that defeated him.
Well,
Okay?
no, the turtle did shit really in it.
But you only believe
turtles
that.
generally don't do shit, do they?
Hey, you know what?
Well,
Mark only believes that because turtles are
Huh?
tied in.
Have you
Turtles
seen-
are tied
I
in
must
with the
really be
life.
drunk
Mark,
now.
Mark doesn't like it because
They
it's
turn
a
into
sign
food.
of positivity.
Well, feces. Mark, what was the next one on the list after it too? Chapter 2, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that this next one is Matthew's preferred version, and this is Pet Cemetery.
Really?
Yes,
I'm
I
so
love it.
opposed to
Why?
Pet
I'm
Sematary.
This movie, man, so
I'm
much.
genuinely curious. I like the original, but the original is obviously my favorite. I did not like the remake at all.
Okay,
Not
the
at all.
original is a great film, but it's
Yeah.
very, very campy. It
Yes.
doesn't take itself serious. This
Cheap.
was very dark. It took itself serious. They changed the whole story. It's like a whole different animal, a whole different beast, man. It's like
I
a
did not
different
like-
thing, with the little girl being returned from the dead. She's older, she's stronger, you know what I mean? And she's more of an adversary than a little fucking toddler. Just kick that fucker in the head, you know what I'm saying? And there's these scenes like as a parent where like he's giving her a bath and he's washing her and she's got all the staples holding her fucking head together, dude. And it's just like, oh man, it's gnarly.
Maybe
And
I
she's
missed out.
looking at him, she's like, Daddy, am I dead?
Maybe I missed that
Fucking, it
connection.
shit hits me, dude. I fucking loved it, man. Love
Well,
it.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because I don't
I
have
love the
kids. I don't
ending.
have that connection.
Maybe.
Accentuated that gore factor quite a bit more. I mean, but
Love the
I think
ending
they're
too.
both. I
dude.
think they're
It's
both great.
insane. Different movies, different things. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I do
and that's,
agree.
And
They
that's,
did-
that's the definition. That's that adaptation. That
Right.
you want. You want. This is my adaptation. It's not just a regurgitation where they're just
Right.
trying to like spit it back out at you in a different form, a real
Fuck yeah.
different form. Yeah, it was.
It-
It was fucking cool. I
it
liked
does-
it too. And
It does what
No,
a
go ahead.
remake should do is add its own flavor. You can still stay true to the original kind of thing that you're remaking. You can look at like the Maniac remake or the Blob remake or any of these remakes, but they add something onto it. Because if it's just a straight remake, what's the point? It's like
Exactly,
it's like that Psycho remake, shot for shot. What the fuck is
That's
that?
cool. Though, dude. No, I love him. I love
I
his
thought that was
movies, and I
fun.
like Psycho.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I thought that shot for shot remake was a lot of fun.
Me
So,
too.
Bite me, Mark.
Well, what's the point?
Sorry, Jeff. What did you say?
Him being a weirdo. him just having fun and being like, I'm gonna remake Psycho shot by shot.
Right.
That's fucking cool, dude. You're like, do
And
it, dude.
they even put Alfred
You
Hitchcock
did
in
it.
it,
If you
just
can
like
pull
he
it
used
the
to.
fuck
You
off.
did it cool.
If
Yeah.
you don't waste your time
He's
in
a
a
genius, man.
remake,
Gus
then
Van
go
Sant.
ahead.
You know, I love his work. You
Budget.
know, My Private Idaho is probably one of the greatest movies ever
Like I
made.
say,
dude.
everything's
Fuck.
subjective, and if you like something I don't like, that's cool because people put time and effort into making something.
Drugstore Cowboy. Any of you guys not put hats on the bed because of Drugstore Cowboy? We
But
don't.
what?
I've never seen it.
You never seen Drugstore Cowboy? Oh, you like William Burroughs, the writer?
So good.
I
Can
know
He's
I
in
know
it.
what you're talking about.
Can you hear Jeff in the
Matt
background?
Dillon. I thought everybody knew it. It's like Matt Dillon and their junkies, and the cops are after him and shit. And like,
yeah,
he's always like, "Don't leave the hat on the bed. Don't. It's bad luck. Don't leave the hat on the bed." And they come in, and like the one girl's dead there, laying there, and he looks
Garbage
around. He's
person
like,
on the floor.
"Who the fuck put the hat on the goddamn bed? I told you to put the hat on the bed."
I
So
know
good, dude.
of the film. I've just never watched it.
Jeff,
Yeah, he's a great. He also filmed William Burroughs reading the Thanksgiving prayer, which
God,
he
I
played
fucking
over
love
and
William
over on
Burroughs.
Thanksgiving.
He also shot his wife in the head, right?
Yes, he
Still
did.
talking about
Yes, he did.
No, right now we're talking about Drugstore Cowboy, Jeff.
And William Burroughs. We could bring it around to fucking Naked
Jeff,
Lunch.
hey,
somehow.
Jeff,
Get
get-
David Cronenberg. Go back
That's
into the dead
William
zone.
S. Burroughs is a whole nother year of conversation.
Hey, Jeff,
maybe,
can you
if
get
that.
closer to your mic?
pretty much.
There you
close
go.
to it. I'm kissing it.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
A little bit of tongue goes a
Yeah.
long way.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've really lost you guys.
Mark, what's next?
I don't-
Played by
wait.
me because I love.
Okay, so here's going to be maybe a controversial one. It is the sequel to The Shining. It's 2019
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep.
Oh
Absolute
my
classic. Love it.
god!
Come on, Jeff. Let's have words. Let's have words. Come on.
I saw. Okay, I met Ella Gasso at a convention, and she spent an incredible amount of time talking with me. Like, I was like, "Are you? I'm spending too much time," and she like drew me back. And this movie came up, so I was so in store for her to be in this movie, and I saw it in the theater, and I was like, I can't wait to get out of this fucking movie. It's so horrible.
So, is this an adaptation that was created after The Shining?
It's
Or
an
was
adaptation
this
of
on the
his
same
sequel book.
timeline?
It's
No,
roughly based. It's different than the book. I liked it better than the book.
But was
Alex
it around the same
Did you
time?
really?
would
with
be
it?
perfect.
Yes.
No.
I
Matthew.
enjoyed it
No,
a
no,
lot.
I thought I was so sad when I read that book. I was so excited. A sequel to The Shining? Are you kidding me?
I have
A
the
fucking
book
motherfucking
digitally, I
sequel
haven't
to The
read it
Shining.
yet.
Are
And I
you
was
kidding?
oh
was it
man,
done
this
around?
sucks, dude. Like this is bullshit. Like
So
Was
hang
it
on.
done around the same
Wait,
time,
Wait,
or was
no.
it done years later?
Wait, everyone.
I'm sitting still because I'm so drunk.
So Doctor Sleep is an adaptation of the Stephen King novel
Doctor Sleep.
mixed with Mike
The Kubrick.
Flanagan's
Stanley
the
Kubrick.
right? So
And the ending from the original book. Let's not forget that.
he put the two
It doesn't
together.
have the ending from the original book. It has
Yes,
the
it
ending.
does.
No, the hotel's still there. It has the ending from the Kubrick movie. They go to the
Guys are
fucking
like
hotel, dude.
No. What I'm saying is the ending where the kid is screaming about him wearing a false face. That's from the book The Shining. That's not from the book Doctor
But
Sleep.
no, what I mean is, the hotel is still there. The hotel has not been
Yes.
blown up.
Correct.
You know,
Yes.
it's and there's this Kubrick music, the Kubrick shots, the Kubrick everything. It's
Yeah,
Kubrick
but
the fuck out, and I loved
They
it.
cut out.
It
They
was
cut
like-
out all of the.
Stanley vomited on it. He did.
It's
They
just
cut
like
out
when the
all
new
of the
Star Wars movie came out, and it had like all the Star Wars people in it. People were all. It doesn't
What?
suck. It doesn't
They-
suck.
They cut all of the relevant shit out of the movie for Doctor Sleep and made it a PG-13.
You mean the book?
No, I'm
they
talking about the movie. I'm
It's
talking
not,
about the movie.
You cut that stuff from the book. You mean
it's not
They
PG.
cut out a lot of stuff from the book
right?
for
I
the
just
movie,
like the way it was stylized. I liked it better.
and it
than
made
the
it
book.
garbage.
I
The
loved it.
Rebecca Ferguson, who I think
Loved
is Rebecca Ferguson, who I think is a fantastic actress, was completely wrong to play Rose the Hat. She was not
Really?
imposing enough.
She was
And
amazing.
she was not evil enough.
No, the
Disagree.
imagery
Oh,
brought
she
to
was
life.
so good.
Actually, no, I was delighted by the imagery brought
No,
to
I
life.
think it was the
when I read
incredibly
something and
wrong.
I see it actually put on film in a way that excites me,
No.
it just
I thought it was better
nope.
than it was in the book.
No, I disagree.
I
I
liked
think
it a lot.
I think she was completely the wrong actress. I do not think that
So-
she had the gravitas on screen to
Please.
portray that character.
Gravitas to
Sure.
play Rose the Hat?
Yes.
What kind of
hang on,
gravitas? You
no.
give me a break.
All right,
Let's
so who should have played her?
Kaz, I think you should have played her.
So let's
Me?
go around
Yeah.
Who
and
just said that?
rate this, and then
shit.
we can discuss. Jim,
Classic.
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
This was meh.
Matthew.
Absolute classic. As soon as the music hit, I was a goner.
Like they didn't even show the scene where he finds.
I
No,
am.
no, no.
It's nostalgia
No,
for me. I'm a
have
Shining
to.
fanatic, and they went back and did a Kubrick sequel.
No,
It's
no,
probably not the
no,
greatest movie.
No,
Probably not the greatest movie in the world,
Nope.
but it was
Because
I-
one of the best.
my itch.
Jim, Jeff, how would you rate this?
0.
So dog
Whoa,
shit.
that's pretty low.
Yep.
Cash.
I want to tell
We're just
my
going to go around,
story
and then we can discuss it. Cash.
when you get to it.
A solid 6 out of 10. Only because
We're using tears now, Kaz.
So it's going to be
Classic,
mad.
classic, great, okay, meh, or dog shit.
Yeah.
the second below classic.
That'd be
So
great.
It was. I thought so.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah.
It was hardly a disappointment. I had a great time.
We're still
I
talking about
revisited
Pet
again.
Sematary, right?
No, we're talking about
No.
Doctor Sleep.
Shit. And here I was saying you light up, and I'm like, I would really like to hear what he has to say.
All right, no, okay. So Doctor Sleep for me. I mean, I do like Ewan McGregor. The,
So
I would say meh. I would say meh. I mean, you're trying to live up to the original storyline, and
I'm not even comparing it to the original storyline from the original movie. I'm comparing it to the book, and I know I probably shouldn't, but it could have been phenomenal. There is so much in the book that they could have used in this film to make it a much better film that it was just garbage.
That's what I'm
How
saying,
much
because
can it
I mean, if you look at a lot of other books, there's so much information that's taken out. I mean, look at Harry Potter, the last 2 movies, right?
Let's
There
talk
was-
about Harry
Again,
Potter.
There was
Let's not
J.K.
talk about
Rowling
Harry
killing
Potter.
us.
Shane.
Let's talk about Harry Potter
Potter?
all fucking night long, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not a
in.
horror
I'm
movie.
down. You want to go?
No,
You guys want to go? Let's go.
I'm
Fine.
just
Yeah.
saying, there's a
Because
lot
I've
more
never
killing
seen
that
any of them, and I
went on.
fucking hate that shit.
I'm just saying, there's a lot more killing that went on. I mean, even if you read E.T., it tells you what the dog's thinking. You know what I mean? So, like, of course you're going to get more
James
information
Joyce,
via
when he wrote
via the
E.T.,
book.
he was like, I need to get into the head of the dog.
Oh my
Hey,
god!
that
know
I'm
what?
just
dog
gonna
has
keep
some fucking
drinking now.
interesting things to say. You know what I mean? Like, he
The-
observed when everybody else was out of the house. He was like, "This motherfucker's stealing beer." You know,
I did
There's
so
not
like-
ask
What?
for the anal probe.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I mean-
confused.
The dog thinks of you as a
Wait, whoa,
motherfucker?
whoa. I missed anal probe.
That
What?
sucks.
What?
I didn't say anal probe. I
Are
said
we
he
still
No,
talking
Cass
about?
did.
Anal probe.
Kaz
I
said
know.
anal probe.
That was me.
He said inappropriate, I thought.
No.
That also.
No,
Anal
she-
probe?
No, we started talking about ET, and all I had said was I did not ask for the anal probe.
See?
That was it.
Okay, good. I did not mishear you.
Love you, Cass.
It comes out of my mouth at least 20 times a day. I'm not
An anal
I'm
probe?
unapologetic.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
yes, exactly that.
So Jim,
Mm.
you like the Meg, right? The
I
movie.
do.
You like the book too.
Love the book
Why
series,
are
yes.
we talking about
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Meg?
I gotta go, you guys.
This is the third time I've had to hear about the Meg this week,
Dude,
and
this is
I'm
ridiculous.
not.
What are you doing?
Talking
I
about the
didn't bring it
fucking
up.
Meg.
Are you like purposely trying to lose listeners? Like, I don't get it.
God
I
damn
have
it.
more to say
Well, no,
about
maybe they try to gain listeners. I mean, that is a large
whatever you're
population.
just talking about.
I
I'm-
would
Is that
rather
a
watch The Abyss
keyword
over the
right now?
Meg.
Shitty
I mean,
horror.
There is
I like-
nothing
I
wrong
like
with
the-
the Abyss. Shut up.
Let's
I
move
like
along.
the Meg, but
I like the Abyss.
better.
I do.
Right? I'm with
Oh
you,
my
Kaz.
god.
Let's move along.
And Matthew,
Let's
don't.
move along.
So number 82, we have the
Ray
Dark
Bradbury.
Tower.
I did not know that this was adapted into a TV movie. But
It's not. I think it's a theater movie.
No,
so
it's
The
no, it's a
Dark
TV
One.
movie.
It's a TV
But
movie.
this is a prequel.
TV
This is a
movie.
prequel for like his teenage
I'm
years,
sorry.
for Roland's teenage years.
Michael Rooker in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
a
But it takes place
prequel of Roland's
before-
teenage years.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is he like in high school?
I doubt it because there's no high school.
It's like John Hughes movie.
Yeah, it's like
Does he
it's
get
like
detention and have to
it's-
hang out with like a jock and a bad boy and a
no, it's a
goth
CW
girl?
series, so there's vampires and werewolves.
Shut the fuck up and move on.
Okay, I've not seen it. Next,
I'm sorry.
Okay, another Netflix. This is the last one,
Going.
but
this
it's,
is the last one.
In the Tall Grass. But there's been more made from Stephen King.
I thought it was
He's
great.
echoing like crazy. Can you not hear that?
I can't
Talking
hear
about-
anything.
In the
Talk,
tall
Mark.
grass.
What?
Oh, what that is.
In the Tall Grass.
Thank you.
Now it's
Oh,
not
gracious.
that one interests me.
I liked it.
It's in my list.
classic. Great film. Great story. Joe
Is it?
Hill and his dad writing together. How cool is that? Coming
I'll
up with
go-
this
I'll go-
cool story. And
Yep.
it's a great one. And it's like it's so cool. It's so weird.
I'll go great.
Fuck your
I
head
won't
up.
say classic,
man.
but I'll
It's
go
like,
great.
eat it, watch it on acid, bro. It'll give it a whole new meaning.
Oh, thanks, Matthew. I'll do that.
I remember those days, but no.
For me,
I don't-
I've never seen it.
Tall
I'm sorry,
Grass,
I've never
man.
seen this one. No, Is it one I should put on the list or no?
I
Yes,
think so.
yes,
It's on
it is.
Netflix.
Yes,
Let's go
I
watch
agree.
it. Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Kaz,
It's on there.
yes. Kaz with your little
Okay.
dangly bits. What did you think?
God, it is a fucking daily bit. You know,
The anal
I've
probe?
got my mic, but I'm not using it. I've got my mic, but I'm not using it. I'm like, no. Shane, you can put it on your list. You should. Give
Put it on
it
the
a
list?
go.
All right,
It's
I will
worth it.
do.
Classic? No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah, that's why I said I do.
Again,
I'd
I've
say
taken a
great.
step
I
down
wouldn't
from
say-
class.
It's classic because it's
Because
Joe Hill
Fletcher
and
is the
Stephen King
grass.
together.
Mark, what did you think?
I thought it was okay. I liked it. It was good for a one-time watch. I like people being stuck in one location and then losing their mind. I like kind of that little subgenre. So,
Yep.
yeah, I liked it. A little supernatural stuff going on and everything else.
So since then, there's been the new Firestarter.
Yeah,
You said this was
what?
the last on the list, right?
No, that
Yeah,
was the last one on the list.
yeah.
Well, we
yeah,
talked about-
there's the new-
Yeah, well,
I,
so-
You guys see
I
that?
refuse to watch the new one. I'm sorry, but Drew
yes,
Barrymore.
I watched it.
I saw it in
Yeah.
the theater.
Oh,
It was
fucking God,
garbage.
It was the greatest film I've ever seen. I cried.
Mark, you have to
No,
be
it was
high. or
terrible.
What?
Matthew, you have to be high.
I am. I'm high, and I didn't like it.
It was a very
It
emotional
was
movie.
terrible. It was they completely changed the storyline around.
what it
and
is?
edited
You
it
know what it
down
is,
and gave it a
Kaz?
new ending.
I don't appreciate it because I don't have children. That's the theme, right? I don't have kids, so I don't appreciate
Never
them.
appreciated
Just
it.
like-
Apparently, I don't have children either, but that doesn't. That
Yeah.
doesn't
You want one of
you know,
one of
just-
mine? You can have one.
Jim is
No,
one.
Why does everybody fucking ask me that?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Jim is
You can-
in the trunk of his.
I'll teach your children music. I'm a fucking
Well,
piano teacher.
Jim-
I'll
Jim-
adopt them for 30 minutes once a week. There you
I have
go.
a child in the oven right now.
That's
You
more
have
time than
said
I
that
give
you-
them, Cass.
Minute.
That's great.
God.
You have repeatedly.
No
said-
judgment.
hold
I get it.
Hold on.
Hold on a second.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on, Jim. You
That
have
was good.
repeatedly
You gotta
said
admit that was
that
good.
you can't feel for it because of the kid issue. But if you watch Final Destination, have you had holes come through your windshield?
Yes.
But I didn't
Who
do
said
anything
yes?
for the kid in
I'm
those
just
movies
saying,
either.
If
What
you
are we
feel,
talking
Who
about?
said yes? Who said
feel
yes?
the
That
myth,
was just amazing.
I'm
That was
just
so
saying,
beautiful.
if you can feel for the characters
Just
of the
so
myth.
fucking matter of fact.
Ooh.
No,
Yes.
I'm saying if you can feel for the characters at the end of the myth, have you ever shot an old lady, an old man, a kid, and a woman, but you still
Yes.
feel for them?
3 times
Now
on
we
Sunday.
circle back.
I don't feel for him. I felt him up after they were dead.
That was my last Wednesday.
I'm just
Yeah, I
saying,
was gonna
I've
say I
never
do
been
it
on
3
the
times on Sunday.
I'm just saying I've never been on the Titanic, but I feel for those bitches.
Huh?
Why?
Yeah, well, those
Just
bitches all
billionaires
Do you
drowning.
feel
fucking
cold
shit.
for those?
You know how fucking
bitches,
cold that
or,
water
like,
is? You won't be able to find your dick until
I
next
can't
week.
see all
You know
of
what I
you
mean?
anymore.
Not lately, no. It's getting there though.
Yeah, Cass, you'll never find your dick for a week.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
Um,
keep
These days, we
mine
don't
on a
know. Hey,
plastic
How
shelf,
are you
guys.
feeling, Mark?
we're all
no,
80s
no.
babies.
There's
It's okay.
something else, hasn't there?
Okay,
Yes,
so
Mark.
for Cass and
And
Jeff,
that's a different Stephen King novel.
so for Cass and Jeff,
Hey,
who weren't
if
here,
you don't have a dick, look, I got a pussy
shut
right here.
shut up, Shane. Who weren't here for our first episode. If you want to bring up any of the other Stephen King adaptations that we didn't talk about from Carrie onwards, anything you want to talk about?
Yes.
Well,
Show,
oh,
if blah, 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 blah. Turn of the century, whatever.
nice shirt,
Okay.
Matthew.
Yeah.
You just said yes, Jeff. So
Earth
please
AD.
speak.
Yeah, please continue, Jeff.
No, I said go, Cass.
Go, Cass, go.
Hey
He's
guys,
cheerleading
well,
you.
Okay, Speed Racer, let's go.
Well, you guys already spoke about. I'm assuming you spoke about majority of his classics to include Carrie, obviously 1408, which
That was
I
the
just
first one.
recently.
Carrie was the very first one.
I didn't know 1408 was a Stephen King adaptation actually until
Really?
Neither
did
did
not.
I. No.
Well, until everybody started talking in this podcast thread about about our current topic. Therefore, I dug, and I do enjoy that film a lot. Actually, I thought it was extraordinarily well done. And I already asked if you guys had discussed Total Recall because it's one that most people don't know. Green Mile
Yep.
is another one that I'm a large fan of. I thought it was delightfully well done. I sympathize
Punch Tom
with
Hanks in his stupid face.
Yeah, we were.
Fuck his, I was
Cass.
so glad every time he vocalized his struggle with his kidney stones. It just made me really happy.
Hey, Kaz,
Nice.
you would have
What's
been in the
that?
minority. Most of us did
Awesome.
not care for that adaptation.
No, I did.
Well,
But
that's
Nobody
fine.
cares,
That's
Mark.
my opinion. I wasn't
David.
talking about you guys.
well,
My cry.
already,
I thought it was great.
I
I did.
didn't know that Total Recall was one of Stephen. That's one of
No,
his.
it's not.
Not Total Recall. That it's a
That's Running Man.
It's
Running Man.
Running Man.
I do the
excuse me.
same thing. I started
I
describing.
was gonna say. I
God
don't.
fucking
I
damn
didn't
it.
think Total
I read the
Recall
story
was one of
and
his.
start
Thank you.
describing fucking Total
I
Recall.
didn't mean to catch
Jesus.
you on that. I'm
About it.
sorry.
That was
I
unintentional,
was
but
like, wait.
But they're so similar, yeah. Total
Running
Recall's
Man, pardon
actually what's his name? Philip K. Dick, I think.
it is.
Philip K.
Philip K. Dick.
Damn, you-
Yeah, dude.
I talked.
Awesome
We spoke
writer.
about. I brought up Philip K. Dick the last time you Mark and Jim, you guys had me on, and you asked if there was anything interesting I was reading, and I brought up my Philip K. Dick novel. Yes, fucking A.
Nice.
I meant to say Running Man. Yes, Running Man.
Yeah, they're very
so-
similar.
It's all
but a
Arnold.
lot-
That's good.
Yeah.
Sure, but a lot of people don't realize that that's a Stephen King adaptation. No,
Yeah.
you guys.
You know what people don't realize?
What's that?
Necrophilia was legal in California until Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor and signed a law against it. So
Is
Not all heroes work
cannibalism
it.
That's actually true.
is
Necrophilia.
cannibalism illegal anywhere?
It's a true story.
Is
He was
cannibalism
elected to
illegal
lead,
anywhere?
Not to read.
Not to my knowledge, Cass.
Yes, I am a cannibal. You didn't know this? When
So-
my wife had her children, we took her placenta and had it made into pills, and we all ate it. I have eaten.
A lot of
I've
people
eaten
do
human
that, and
meat.
there's nothing wrong with that at
I
all.
can't wait.
So
to
I am
visit
technically
you,
a
Matthew.
literal cannibal.
I mean, see, that's one of those experiences I'm going to miss out on because I don't have kids.
You'll never have a
Jim?
baby, no. So
No,
No,
you
no.
you don't need to actually have kids to be a cannibal.
yeah,
I'm a
I don't-
carnivore.
I
I'm
don't-
not a
I don't-
cannibal.
he doesn't have any kids, and he ate some. He's a cannibal, little
I
fucking
never,
cannibal.
Yeah.
I never visit a Walmart, Jim. But if you ever do, you will become a cannibal very, very quickly, from what I heard.
Yeah.
Just-
I mean, I do live in Florida. We have bath
What the
salts
fuck
and
does that
guns
mean?
everywhere.
What the hell's going on around here?
They should have a sample of that at Costco. The placenta. Put them in the little cups.
They should.
I think I just passed that right on
There
by.
was a restaurant in New York that got shut down because he was making cheese out of the head chef in a fucking restaurant was making cheese out of his wife's fucking breast milk.
Get
lactating
out of
wife.
here! Really?
I swear, to God, dude, the
Ah.
fucking health department got wind of it and shut the fucking place down.
Good.
That's cool.
Hey, she had
Okay,
the right
so
Comes
paper.
do
from
we
a
have anything else
mammal.
Stephen King related we'd like to talk about?
I
With
mean,
beard or without beard.
So Jeff,
say
you want to talk about Storm of the Century, right? Which I think is an absolute.
I just am floored by Storm of the
I don't know anything about
Century.
it. Never
I'm
heard of
so
it.
drunk right now, but it's like cinema on TV, and there
That
are
happens a
moments in
lot,
that
you know,
movie,
Jeff.
huh?
A lot of cinema comes to TV.
I don't know if I would agree with you on that.
See,
With
this
Storm of
is
the
why you
Century,
shouldn't take Jim's side before you come on to a
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Is
He's a
Jim
fucking
like an
asshole.
anti-Storm of the Century person?
Yeah,
Well,
Go
so
The
ahead.
Last
No,
The
I'm
Last
listening.
of
Go
Us
ahead,
came out
please.
as a game first before
It's
it came out as
just,
a show.
no, it's not
it's
a game.
amazing.
We went over this last time.
Yeah. So I won't. I won't spend a lot of time, but it's just amazing,
Yep.
and is it Confior who plays the villain?
Wait, what?
Paul,
There are moments when people are taken out of the world, and it's like it's real. It's like you're watching something that's really happening.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of Deborah Giorfino. So
I'm a big fan of Colin Feore. I thought he was fantastic in that
yes,
miniseries.
yes. There are, in my view, there are certain king women,
Born
and then
in,
has the classic
come on in.
king women, like Deborah De Mornay in the
Deborah De Mornay, who's
Lambasted
that?
in The Shining
That's
by
Rebecca.
Mick Garris. Rebecca, did I say Rebecca?
You
Sorry,
said Deborah.
Don't worry, Jim's just a pedant.
I told you
Shut
I'm
up.
You knew
drunk.
what he meant, dude.
Did I? Did I?
Actually,
though?
I would
Oh,
like,
no.
Told Jim.
I would
Bottom
like, I
line
would like to
is,
see, I would like to see
there
Christopher
are all
Waltz.
of
When
these
she had sex with Tom Cruise on a
wonderful.
subway, man, that was cool.
If you say so.
I would
I'll
like to
stop
see
now.
Christopher
I want
Waltz
to make
in
love on a
Stephen
train.
King.
Make
Huh?
love to me on a train.
And by the way, I want to my final saying here is on the Shining television series.
Mm-hmm.
It recaptured for me the novel.
Yes.
So I don't care what the fuck you all say. I love Mick Garris's rendition of it.
So I think
I
the
met
next thing-
Steven Weber, and
Yes.
he was an asshole when I met him.
Well, he was an
despite
asshole in the movie
that,
too.
Yeah, Rebecca De Mornay was exactly who I imagined in the
No,
novel
no.
when I
We'll
read
have to
it.
disagree on that.
She was a beautiful blonde, like cheerleader lady in the
Shelley
book.
Duvall
Yeah.
was
Delightfully
not.
campy.
Nothing what she looked
But
like in the book. For me,
I
the Kubrick book and the fucking and the Kubrick movie and the Stephen King book are just completely different things.
two different
Just
visions,
like
100%.
Thank you,
yeah,
Matthew.
I mean, just completely different objects
Yeah.
altogether. You know what I mean? Just
Shane,
roughly based around each other.
Shane,
But the
what's up?
problem,
Shane, there's something behind you, dude.
Ah!
Oh, look.
It's a rat. It's a rat.
And,
No, just kidding.
and my
No. All right. So let me ask you this: do you guys think that Christopher Waltz would do great in a Stephen King film or no?
who?
I think
What?
you're talking about Christoph Waltz,
Yes. Thank
not
you.
Christopher. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
so,
confused.
my
Who-
bad.
who are we
Yes,
talking
thank you,
about
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm sorry. No, he would do. He's just a phenomenal actor, and he is very well rounded. I might be biased, but
I guess this is
I
the
absolutely
wind
adore him.
down because
I don't.
know what
He's
you're
not
talking
in
about.
any Stephen King
No,
adaptations,
he's
though,
not.
is he?
But would you
Okay.
ever see him portraying a character in any one of his? Because he is so diverse with his roles. Would you
So
ever
clear-
see him in?
How
So-
about Meg Tilly? Can you imagine her in a Stephen King movie that was made back in the 70s?
Meg Tilly.
Who?
Meg Tilly, huh?
I'm sorry. I opened my mouth and said something.
Yes. Yes.
So if
What's
you
on
should
my
genre,
mind?
She's awesome in Chucky.
I'm just saying, Christoph Waltz.
That's Jennifer
he's,
Tilly.
he's so
Yeah.
diverse because he does
Yeah,
speak
thank
different
you.
languages. Like,
Yes.
can you imagine seeing? Because he does have a little bit of craziness to him.
Okay, so since
Subtly.
you clearly put thought into this, Shane, right? What character would you like to see Christoph Waltz play?
I
In
don't
what
know,
Stephen King adaptation?
but he has that subtle.
Gage.
He almost. All right, you know what?
Mark.
All right,
Very
how
good.
about this?
You.
How
You
about
win.
this?
You.
How about this? He would only be the person I would consider, and that this is not a Stephen King thing, but
Like Dead Zone?
Hannibal. He would be the closest thing to Hannibal Lecter
Hmm.
because he's so
That's a great
intelligent.
Stephen King
That's-
book.
So
The Silence of the Lambs.
Hannibal is that's
one of my
Thomas
favorite
Harris.
Stephen King. How come we didn't talk
Oh,
about
is
that
it?
one?
We didn't talk about Thomas
We did the
Harris's
whole thing
novels.
on Jodie
No, we didn't do
Foster.
that. We didn't. We
Is
still
it-
didn't
is-
talk
is
about
it-
Thomas
is it a
Harris.
Stephen
Okay.
King
Where it
novel?
came flying through the
So-
also, remember?
Let us
Stephen
Hey,
King,
I'm just
also
saying,
known as Thomas Harris.
I have a
if
question for you,
if
Kaz.
you were
Since
to rewrite it, I'm saying that he would be. I feel he would
Rewrite
be
it?
the closest person that would portray a good.
I'm
Am I
confused as
off
fuck,
by
dude. I
4
have no
with
idea
this?
what's
Tell
going
me
on.
not.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yourself-
Matt's just
I
giving you
know.
shit on that. Kaz, I have a question for you.
Do a good Pennywise.
For me, oh, good God. Okay, fine. Sure,
Kaz, I
Tim.
have a question because I've thought about this and I can't think. I don't have a person in mind, but I value your opinion most of the time.
Oh,
So,
good God, I'm so sorry.
if you could cast anybody as the character of Randall Flagg, who would it be?
Oh my
a good
God.
question.
Fuck.
Can I come back to it
That's
in just
a
a moment?
good one.
Sure.
Give me a moment to think about it. Yeah, I'd like
Okay.
that.
Who's
Because
Randall
actually,
Flagg?
Oh man, you're in the wrong group, buddy.
God damn,
Mark,
I can't think of it.
He was the
I
main
assure
villain
you-
in The Stand.
Richard Pryor.
Oh,
He also is the Man in Black through the Dark Tower series.
Mark, are you wiping your ass?
Have
Or are
you
you?
read
Are
The
you...
Stand or anything? No.
no.
That's a good one, Jim.
Danny DeVito.
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
Fuck you.
What?
Why?
That was
He's a
very,
great
very
actor.
mean, Jeff.
No.
I honestly cannot think for the life of me at the moment who has.
Laura San Giacomo.
She was such shit in the miniseries. Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me? She's amazing. She fucking made that fucking series.
No, she did not. No, she did not.
Oh.
Everybody knows, Jeff, that Molly Ringwald made that
Sorry.
series.
Molly Ringworm.
It,
So, is there
Yeah.
is there any other Stephen King adaptations y'all want to talk about? Like,
Kaz doesn't look like
yeah,
she
but
can
I
read
can't
again.
remember.
Or
Well,
whatever.
yeah. So what's there is the new Salem's Lot that's supposed to come out any day. What the fuck is? Are they? Do they
I'm
have?
nervous.
Is the monster look like the Toby Hooper monster?
I don't know.
Or is it?
Does anybody know?
I didn't
Released that?
know
No.
anything about it.
I
No, they haven't
feel
released
like
it yet.
it's not going to be.
It's
Good.
obviously not. They've been talking about like putting it out for years.
Well, now they're
Yeah.
talking about putting it straight to streaming, but they haven't
Yeah,
made a
they are,
decision
yeah.
yet.
I
It'll
thought they
probably
had.
be okay, but not great.
I think the entire thing rests around fundamentally: do they want to remake Toby Hooper's miniseries, or they want to turn the book into a movie?
So, according to the promo posters, he looks like the Toby Hooper character.
See,
Toby was just
that's weird.
phenomenal.
But
I
is
mean
that
that's
what's
cool,
going to happen? Who
but
knows?
it's Toby Hooper's movie.
They're
Why
gonna
don't
I
you
do
do
have
it
a
alone?
question.
Go make
So
your
I
own
do have a
goddamn
question.
movie.
What did you guys think of Chapel 8?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
started to watch it and I stopped, but I'm a huge Jerusalem Lot fan.
Yeah.
I'm really into that, all
Oh.
that backstory and all that story. It's some of my favorite Stephen King mythology. Very Lovecraftian.
What about
So
you?
I don't know.
Jeff?
I watched maybe 2 episodes and loved it, and then just
You need to
like
get back
kind
to
of
it. It's fantastic,
just
in my opinion.
drop-
Jeff?
What
There's so
are
much
you
stuff to
talking
watch.
about?
So on Stars, they did a prequel series to Salem's Lot called Chapel Wait.
Oh my fucking god!
It's in the actual prequel is called Jerusalem's Lot.
It's starring Adrian Brody.
I love Adrian
Yeah.
Brody.
Me too.
Yes.
Yes, I'm serious. I'm
Yes.
a Jew.
It's more like a satanic cult based. Not satanic.
No,
but,
no. Wait. Don't
Satan
ask Matthew.
bars.
He hasn't seen the whole series yet, and we don't want to spoil it. We'll just say it is a prequel to Salem's Lot, and we'll keep it at that.
Has anyone seen
Wow.
the Salem's Lot?
The original
Huh?
Salem's Lot.
The Return to Salem's Lot.
Yes, Return to Salem's
Yeah.
Lot.
Where they eat the
Oh.
cows.
One
Yes,
of the
we've
movies
seen it.
ever made, which makes it one of the greatest movies ever made.
It is.
It is so ridiculously stupid, but it is.
It is so.
I love stupid. I do.
You love it.
Who
It's
doesn't
fucking
love
awesome.
stupid?
I mean, it is fucking awesome.
I'm
It is
worried.
so,
I'm worried
so
that
bad that it is just great.
I'm worried that this new regurgitated Salem's Lot is going to be just oversaturated in CGI and just completely.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I always get nervous when it's something that I love that just like spit back out. Again, this is that that touch on adaptation. So let's just hope that whoever picked it up and drops it back down has a small consideration, at least a little bit of consideration for the audience that originally loved.
They
They're
just
gonna
Kaz?
fuck it up. It's fucked.
They are.
Kaz, did you see Chapel Wait?
Oh, I'm a big fan. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Still need to finish that.
So is there anything else we want to talk about? As
Yeah,
far
I'm still waiting for Kaz's answer to my question.
As long as it's not Bill Skarsgård. No, Danny DeVito is not the answer.
Yeah, Danny
no.
DeVito's not an answer.
I'm gonna have to come back. I am gonna have to come back. I've thought about it and I've got nothing for you, hon.
I'm
It's not for lack of trying. I just don't have it.
What
Yes.
did you find out about?
you
Both play
didn't-
vampires.
Wait.
But Donald
That's
Sutherland also
Chris-
played a
that's-
vampire killer too, so it's very interesting. It's a weird family dynamic.
That is 100% true. And their cousin Christoph Waltz is.
He needs to fall again.
What did you say?
He needs some cocaine to wake up.
Just
Might be possible.
What did you find out about Emilio Estevez?
I know, right?
Amy.
Amelia.
Wait till you find out who his father and his brother are.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so does anybody else have anything else they want to bring up?
Cass adds a breath of fresh air to this podcast.
She always does.
Is that a fact?
Yes, she's solid gold and a gift to you guys.
You guys are phenomenal. I'm just grateful to be here.
She looks like she's being tortured right now.
All year.
Oh gracious.
Okay. Well, thank you,
No,
everybody.
Jim. Thank you.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say, Kaz?
I was going to say, Jim. I still can't come up with any replacement for
That's okay.
for our beloved.
I'll call you to task in the Facebook group, so no problem.
Please do. And I must also mention, Jim, that I have been slowly picking away with Incel. I have not finished it yet, but I will get back to you as soon as it's done. I'm on chapter 10.
I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about that. Very curious.
You wrote a manifesto, Jim?
No. Are you calling me an incel?
No, she said you was reading your work or this thing you've written.
It's not my work. It's a book I recommended.
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Incel.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell the FBI about it, Matthew. Wink,
By
wink.
Matt Duchessois.
Wink, wink.
Oh God, I fucking hope.
No,
this
manifesto your friend
I'm the-
wrote.
Yeah,
I'm
this
the
is
one.
a true
I'm the one you want.
crime podcast.
Everybody, thank you very much.